Welcome to the E-League Season 2 Finals and the Snickers pregame show. We have got an incredible crowd here today. You guys just proved that to me. But in addition to your wonderful faces, we have two teams here competing for the title of E-League Season 2 champions and a piece of the $1.1 million prize pool. This is everything these teams have been fighting for all season long. But before we get into the game, why don't we get to know the teams a little bit better? The first team we have for you today is the resurgent Danish powerhouse.
They find themselves in a contest of giants. While much has been said about their inability to follow through, the fact that they are here says more.
You haven't seen that out of Astralis for a very long time.
These Danish stars are self-made.
Oh no! Device! Unreal!
They might be underdogs, but make no mistake. This roster has plenty of bite.
He's gonna get shot down by Glaive. Now Zipnix! Campy with a good spray down and a team kill!
And they are here to prove their worth, one war-torn map at a time. This is their moment. This is their fight.
They've made it to the grand finals.
This is the era of Astralis.
Please welcome to the stage, Astralis. They finally broke their semi-final streak to make it all the way here to the Season 2 finals of E-League. They are ready to take on their opponents, and they are so excited to be playing in front of all of you today. Please give it up for Astralis. All right, boys, you can take your seat. Now it's time to introduce the competitors. This is a North American team featuring a Spanish sniper that has brought us thrills, excitement, and upsets all season long. You know who I'm talking about.
They are the new threat in the world of Counter-Strike. Quiet assassins starting to make a lot of noise.
Mixwell continues to reign supreme.
The green wall growing bigger.
Rushes to the front line, going through 2 huge kills.
Stronger.
And it's gonna be Stan getting the triple kill.
And more dangerous every day.
This is just an all-out brawl.
They carry the weight of a continent on their shoulders as North America's last hope for a championship. After sweeping FaZe in the semifinals,
What is happening?
they're ready to make history.
Optic secure the spot for the grand finals.
Now, they take E-League by force.
2 big kills for Mixwell.
The foundation has been laid for a new contender. Witness the rise of Optic Gaming.
Welcome to the stage, Optic Gaming. The green wall is out in force for the last standing North American team here at E-League Season 2. The fans are excited to see them. I know they're thrilled to be playing on this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Optic Gaming, give it up. All right, gentlemen, you guys can take your seats. These two teams will be facing off in a best-of-3 format for their piece of the over $1 million prize pool and the title of E-League Season 2 champions. Who will hoist this trophy at the end of the day? We'll find out right after this break.
Winning E-League Season 2 would mean big things for North America, like the back on the map, that we actually won a tournament.
We proved people wrong plenty of times. You know, people will predict us to, come into a tournament. We won't be able to do anything. People didn't predict us to make it out of groups coming into this tournament.
We have tons of confidence right now. NA is on the rise, and they're not to be trifled with.
You guys can have your opinion, but we're going to prove you wrong. It's okay.
Optic can win E-League Season 2 for sure.
E-League on TBS is brought to you by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies. By Domino's. Order online and track your order. And by Arby's. We have the meats.
Yes, welcome back to the Snickers E-League pregame show. I'm your host, Richard Lewis, on the analysis desk, and joining me for the final, we're super psyched. It is, of course, Moses and Thorin. It's the end of the road, boys. Is NA going to do it? Are you pumped?
This would be one of the biggest upsets we've seen in CSGO if this actually happens. If Optic is able to do it, it would probably be the biggest one.
And with just 2 teams left, Duncan, you've got a chance to get a prediction right.
Well, I usually get the maps right, so there is that.
So I've been told.
Setting the bar low.
Make sure you get involved on social media. But let's take a look at the Domino's bracket so we can see how these teams got here. We've already told you, so many upsets in this tournament. To be fair, very hard to call. Underdogs winning left, right, and center. And you can see that it is indeed Astralis that overcame SK Gaming. News filtering in. They're making roster changes. Astralis broke them like Bane broke Batman. Optic wrecked FaZe Clan to get here as well to keep North American, you may cheer, keep North American hopes alive of actually winning a big title. Unprecedented stuff. So let's take a look at how Astralis got here. Duncan, tell me all about it.
Yeah, obviously Astralis started the playoffs with a really scary matchup, the old enemy of NIP, who always used to beat them. First map was NIP's pick, it was Cobblestone, but this shows you it's a new Astralis, because Astralis used to permaban Cobblestone, and they were real close in that game despite losing. Then we went to Train, where at the moment Astralis is looking like, if SK is the best team, maybe they're the second best team in this game at Train. Decider was Overpass, second best map, obviously, for a team like SK. Still actually a pretty solid map for NIP when they had Makalele in the lineup. They won Star Series on it, but Astralis was too good on it. They did not give way to the choke. They were able to get past the quarterfinals. So there we got it. There we got the SK matchup in the semifinals, and this was going to be a big one because it started on Overpass. So Overpass is the map where previously they could always hang on with that big CT side, the SK guys, but this time Astralis outclassed them as they had done in the group stage, and they showed it wasn't just group stage only like the old Astralis and like we saw at Oakland. Then we went to the big game, because this one on Train, we know that 17-game winning streak was on the line for SK, but the first half was looking incredible. The guys from Astralis, I think they were up 11-0. They won the first half, I think it was 12-3. They won the pistol, but then it started to get a bit leery. Then they were just able to hold on, and in the end, they were able to take that game, winning on the 2 best maps for SK, and here they are in the final looking to win the title.
Yeah, just an incredible story, completely transformed under that man's leadership, Glaive. You've got to give him full credit for what's happening here, but they're not going to have it all their own way tonight, obviously, Moses. They are going to be playing against Optic Gaming. Tell us about how they got here.
Yeah, a very young team. In fact, if they win here today, I think this is only the second title North American teams that have in Counter-Strike in almost a decade. Train against Mousesports first, and this Mousesports team has been flagging a little bit lately, but they have that one player. They have Nico, one of the best players in the world that always had to worry about, but it was Mixwell who showed up, the Spanish sniper on Optic. He was dominant. Rush was there in a big way as well. These two guys really picked up the pace in the quarterfinals. Moving on to Cash as well. This was a little bit of a better opportunity for Mousesports, but still, again, I mean, this is the crazy thing. It was just so consistent from the players from Optic, which we haven't seen in a long time. Rush being dominant again. Stanislaw, Nafly, the role players of Optic picking it up in a big way, having impact kills, and then we move on to the semifinals against FaZe. Another situation where you say Optic is going to be the underdogs in this one, and again, it's Rush, it's Mixwell, it's Tarek showing up. This opening trade match, this was aggressive. This was visceral from Optic Gaming, and they completely dominated FaZe. It was just a steamroll. They end up winning 16-3. FaZe never even got into it, so that's an old-time rival between these two orgs. That was big, and moving on towards Overpass, half felt like FaZe was going to be even more favorites on this map, but still, just kept up the pace. Overall aggression on Optic Gaming, led by Tarek. He was a beast in this series, and FaZe just couldn't slow them down at any point throughout those maps.
Yeah, and you talk about Tarek, you know, so happy for him on an individual level. He was talking about retirement after the disappointment of CLG. Maybe he's just going to play casually, have some fun. Comes into Optic Gaming, of course, converts the team into a tournament potentially winning team. Just amazing transformation for him. Anyway, let's talk about the X Factors presented by HyperX. One of the breakout players so far here has been Rush. Really stepped up in E-League so far, and if he can continue that, I think they're in with a chance. What do you think?
I mean, he has to step up if they want to have a chance. In fact, all 3 of their stars, but definitely Rush. We saw the impact he can have in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. He's the reason Optic's even here to begin with, and if he disappears in this series, there's no chance for an upset for Optic.
Yeah, he was always a playmaker. It's just before we never got these kind of star-level stats. So the numbers he's even putting up for the playoffs, that's a key if they want to be able to beat what is a very talent-laden team in Astralis.
Yep, so there you have it. Will Rush be able to continue his fine performances? We're going to find out soon. First, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to bring you all the vetoes and set the stage for this awesome final. Make sure you join us.
Your win for your roster under Astralis. What
Device, unreal. Picks up all 3 kills.
I think it's better to stay level-headed than excited, because excited can make you make mistakes randomly. If you're the
This is just getting out of control.
That is absurd. This is crazy. They are fired up.
Our preparation for the playoffs vary a little bit because we know our opponents.
Device, unreal. Picks up all 3 kills.
I think it's better to stay level-headed than excited, because excited can make you make mistakes randomly. If you're a little more level-headed and just calm, you play focused.
Man, Rush, just hitting shots left and right.
I wouldn't say that we're scared of any opponents, but we respect all of our opponents.
Let's start the Dominoes countdown. That's the official pizza of E-League. Before we bring you the map vetoes and start breaking down this game, though, we're going to go over to the stage where Rachel's going to be talking to Dupree to get a temperature check on the favorites.
Thank you so much, Richard. Now, Dupree, this is the first potential major win for your roster under Astralis. What is it like having this so close at hand?
It's extremely exciting. I'm so happy, and I know the team is so happy to be here, especially since we've gotten Glaive. It's not even a month ago we gotten Glaive. So there's huge improvements already, and I'm just super excited to play this final.
You mentioned huge improvements. Talk to me about the work that went into getting your team capable of standing on this stage today.
I think the main thing is that we've started believing again. I think that was maybe the core issue with Kerrigan, that we have tried so many different things that in the end we just didn't know what to do, and we had just tried everything, so we seemed completely lost, and we had stopped believing in the team. So when we got Glaive, he brought in some new things we could do as a team, and some new things. We got some new roles as individuals. So overall, we just got really a lot of new things to do, and everyone's very excited to play and motivated. So I think that's the key to our success so far.
Well, all that stands between you and your highly motivated team is one big green wall. Do you think you guys have done everything you need to do to take home this championship today?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very surprised to see Optic here. They've been playing really well this tournament, and also the last tournament, Northern Arena, I think it was. So I'm really surprised to see them here, and they've done a really good job. But I'm looking forward to playing them. I think it's going to be a great final.
All right, thank you so much, Dupree. I also think it's going to be a great final. Let's give it back to the desk and start things off.
That's a cheeky little smile there from Dupree. He's confident. Let's have a look what maps we're going to be playing. Duncan, talk me through what you expect to see.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is we know Astralis bans Cobblestone, and the 2 best maps for Optic, they're going with Cash now. So actually that leaves it up for the guys from Optic. They usually ban something like Mirage, you might think might be a possibility here. Don't want to play that. Now, interestingly enough, Optic likes Train, but we saw incredible Astralis is there. So it's actually going to be Astralis who picks Train into Optic. Now, what do Optic go with? Probably has to be Cobblestone, right? But we saw Astralis did play Cobblestone against NIP remarkably well, so maybe that's why they're letting it through here. I'm thinking Overpass is the decider here. Now, here's the problem, is that on one hand, if you're an Optic fan, great. I've seen them win all these maps, right? They love Cobblestone, they want to train an Overpass against FaZe. Sounds awesome, right? Problem is, Train and Overpass, fantastic maps for the guys from Astralis. They beat SK on both.
Yep.
And Cobblestone, You've only got one game to go off with this lineup if you've been watching the VODs.
This is Jason, react for me.
This is like style points from Astralis, just picking the best map of Optic, giving him the second best map as well, and just saying, we're going to beat you on him anyway. So that's really cool from Astralis to see him do that. That also probably, when you think about the preparation that goes into a map veto process, Optic is probably thinking that Kabul is going to be banned. They're probably not expecting that cash ban whatsoever. So all of a sudden, with that opening things up, the Optic process is just like, what do we do now? We did not plan for this.
Like, I actually think that the Optic guys probably prepared themselves to play Cash. That's what I thought their pick was going to be. So maybe this has thrown them a little bit.
Well, we'll take a look at the records of both of these teams in 2016 on this particular map with these lineups. And, of course, all our professionals play on iBuyPower PCs. You can see there, Astralis 4-1. Optic Gaming 4-2, but Astralis have beaten some real heavyweights on this map, including ending that SK Gaming streak. So, phenomenal performances. The teams are getting ready, so let's start talking about predictions. Who are we going to go with here?
For this first map for Train, it has to be Astralis. I mean, this is a team where they've almost beaten twice in a row SK Gaming on this map. Yep. A team that is basically the best of all time to ever play this rework of Train. So, at the moment, unless I see something like yesterday against FaZe, it's going to have to be Astralis for the opener.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Astralis as well. I think Optic is, I mean, yesterday we saw against FaZe, it was just overwhelming aggression. It was very fast-paced. It was very much push forward and get in your face. And I think Astralis, if they're able to stop that, then Optic's in for some trouble. If they're not able to stop that, they're going to have the tools to adapt.
All right, there you have it then. So let's talk. We're going to get into the action. First, we're going to have a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to throw you over to Anderson Semler. Make sure you join us.
With E-League Live Game Command, you call the shots. You can configure your own viewing experience using every POV feed, camera, and view that we've got.
That is absurd.
See what your favorite players are seeing. Pick the angles, see it all. Game Command's 17,000 plus configurations put you in control of how you watch E-League.
They are fired up.
Experience more action, more angles, more E-League. Go to live.eleague.com. E-League Live Game Command, a new way to watch Counter-Strike.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure it is to get into this grand finals. We are finally here. It's been a long, long road to get to this stage. I'm Anders, and my partner in crime is Semler, and we're going to get into this best of three between Astralis and Optic Gaming. How ready are you for this, Semler?
Once upon a time, I looked like I was the partner in crime, but then the mustache had to go. So I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it anymore. I am ready for this game, though, Anders. And it's true. The last North American hope is here in the finals. They've made an incredible run.
You've got your game face on, and I mean, it is incredible, isn't it, that they made it to this spot. Now, if they can upset one more time, that would be truly miraculous. We are going to head into Train. Here's your Arby's map fly through, and Astralis, they did beat SK Gaming on this. They ended that 17-0 map streak. I mean, Optic, it seems like from whatever way you look at this, it just has to be a constant uphill battle this whole grand finals for the North American team. There's no other way to put it, but at this point, they're used to it. That's sort of what they've been tested throughout the whole thing, just molded by fire. It's going to be the first round coming in, but Astralis, they're going to play on the T side and Optic on the CT side.
Yeah, and this is so sick. Astralis, we saw an explosive T side from them yesterday versus SK. They tried repeatedly to just go crashing into the defense, and it didn't quite work out for them. They had to slow down their game. I'm curious to see if it's going to be the same approach here versus Optic, however, and if Optic are going to be able to withstand that aggression. Already, Astralis, 3 players over here at Alley, trying to go for the push, and Mixwell waiting on the other side of the smoke, looking for the headshot. He needs to fall back, though. He can't get picked off.
Oh, look at it. They're all coming around that corner. Just 3 people, close range with the Glock. And Kjaerbye going to pick up Rush as well. That's a very bad sign for Optic. What a turnaround. Device 180. Napfly going to go for the knife. That cannot work out, and that's going to be the end of it. Astralis will pick up the first pistol round here, and that's a huge win for them on the T side. And you know what? There was a level of depth in that one pistol round that was very intelligent. What they had is, and the key player here is actually Glaive, and all he does is throws a flashbang out into the yard through the smoke. That's normally a signal that there'll be a lot of people running through the smoke, and then instead they have 3 people attacking Mixwell. Now everybody on Optic, I'm sure, we're thinking it's going to be a main yard push. They're all coming in. That's what everything looked like. It's a very smart play from Astralis.
Yeah, when you have the execution that Astralis have after that, moving in as a team, you saw that 3-man hit squad moving through Alley. That's so important that they stick together and that they not stop. They never stopped. Even when they ran into Mixwell, they kept charging forward, they kept the pressure on, and that's what I was talking about, whether Optic would be able to hit their shots when Astralis were running at them. Device finds a headshot on Mixwell to start. Nafly with the flick, though. 2 kills go Optic's way, but that was a sick headshot from Nafly.
He was close range against Dupree. With that Deagle, could easily get the second kill. That would have maybe been the round. Rush and Stanislaw are still left. They have armor, they have some pistols, and if they can just isolate a kill, make it a 2 versus 2, it's possible for them to win this round, though definitely not an easy task. And it's going to be an almost insurmountable task now that the bomb is going to go down. That's because they don't have the defuse kit, which would cut the defuse time in half if you got that. Instead now, it's a 10-second defuse for either player, and that's just too much. They're too far away from the site.
Yeah, they're too far away. They're looking to try and see if they can't catch somebody on Astralis looking the wrong way, out of position. They want those guns. Because you lose that pistol round, Optic are on pistols, they have to save. They have to save up to be able to buy the more expensive rifles. Astralis have got the head start on them. So Astralis with the 3 players here, they're just looking to find a way off this site so they don't go boom with the bomb. And they don't want to donate any guns either. So it's a little bit of a tricky scenario here for Astralis, but it looks like they're going to manage it. Optic have found 2 guns, and they've managed to back off to the other side of the map. So calm round here for Astralis. A little bit messy, perhaps, because they give up 2 players, but still, I think they're more concerned with just getting the round on the board, not throwing it away in the second round, not giving Optic a way back into this.
But I will say this. It's all right for Astralis to lose 2 players and then win the round. The problem is they gave those 2 guns to Optic. That's actually a big win, I think, for the American team. That UMP, and especially that Scout. Train is a map that has those really long corridors, and we'll probably see later on Mixwell with an AWP sniper rifle. It's a slightly more powerful rifle than the Scout is. They're going to be used to those long angles, so we'll see if that's going to be a feature of this upcoming round. If you run into a Scout at the wrong spot, that could be a problem.
I mean, I'm glad that they handed over to Tarek as well. Throughout these playoffs, Tarek has been hitting nuts shots with the Scout, and he's going aggro Brown Halls as well towards the B site, so this could get interesting. Xyp9x is holding over here. Nobody there quite yet to back him up, however, so it's a little bit of a tricky situation. Device in mid is going to find a shot, however, on a site. That's Nafly down, and Xyp9x runs right into Stanislaw. You can see the difference between having the helmet and not. Xyp9x, he nearly got 1 shot there. If he didn't have a helmet, he was dead. But that superior gear, that money allows Astralis to get better equipment.
A nice initiative from Stan, though. I mean, that could have worked out. Now Tarek, we're looking for the headshot. Not quite going to get it. Device instead will take him out. Now they are setting up for a pop flash, but actually Mixwell, who was supposed to initiate behind the flashbang there, he gets taken out. And that leaves Rush trying with the P250. He's going to pick up 1 kill on Device, turning around. And that will be the end of it. 3-0. Astralis, this is what you expect. You know, you win the pistol round, you're supposed to win the following 2 rounds. So this is all par for the course here. Now is when Optic get a real chance to do something.
This is going to be crazy, though. Because so far, what Astralis have demonstrated us throughout these playoffs is that they don't necessarily need exactly to rely on Device. The rest of the team can step up, can do work, and Device, who is the star player of this team, can actually sit back a little bit and not put as much pressure on himself. But if we're starting within the first 3 rounds of this grand final and Device is up 7 kills, if you're Optic right now, you are a little nervous. You do not want this guy taking off.
Definitely not. Oh, wait, are they just going to run down the ramp? Look at that, straight into the B bomb site. Stan is the only one there. There are 3 people coming. He's going to be going down, and Tarek went out as well. Glaive on the other side spraying and really almost nearly taking out Mixwell. They can't even retake this bomb site. It's a 3 versus 4, yes, but because of the low health on Nafly and Mixwell, they have to save the rifles for the upcoming round.
Manage that money.
I mean, what a pace being set by Astralis.
And, well, this is the sort of scenario, right? Astralis know that they are the favorites in this match. What do you do when you're the favorites? You disrespect the underdog. You just run right into him. You bully him. You don't let him get his head into the game. Optic right now, this is what I'm talking about when they need to start hitting some shots. The only way to stop Astralis from going for these ultra aggro plays, showing this disrespect, is to start hitting your shots and, well, bopping him on the nose. So now Optic, 2 players alive here trying to save their guns going into the next round. With 3 players, they might have gone for the buy. 2 might be cutting it a bit close here.
And we should point out that the reason you want to go for a B rush like that is because it's almost 100% of the time that there will only be one person in B within the first 20 seconds of a round. After that, they will start rotating one of the 4 people in A into the B bomb side. But if you hit this early, you can pretty much count on only having the one person. And here's the problem. When you do it so early on, Optic, and especially Stanislaw, who was on that bomb side, he doesn't have a Molotov to buy time early on. He can't put those grenades out. So he's just sitting up there and waiting, and there's no backup for him.
And it's tough for him because Xyp9x actually did go on top of the train. He was crouching down, hoping that nobody would go on top of the train, that he would be able to get in there for free. Not going to happen, however. Rush and Xyp9x trading kills out here on the A side. And again, this is what I'm talking about. They're just going to keep charging at Optic right now. Astralis, kill after kill comes in, and it's only really Rush with any kind of rifle to work with here, although Mixwell hits a nice shot. Boom, done. 3 players survive for Astralis, and a 5-0 lead here for Astralis on the T side of train. This is a fantastic start for the Danish team.
It definitely is. They're building a good bit of confidence already on the terrorist side here. The answer for the North Americans is going to be that double AWP setup. And I mean, this could be very powerful. It could leave either Nafly or Mixwell towards that B bomb side and have a lot more presence elsewhere. We'll see how they're going to position those snipers. But I think this is a strong setup and a good answer to what Astralis are throwing at them so far.
Certainly, you want to find that pick. This is another option that you have if you actually have players who are capable of hitting their shots with those sniper rifles. Nafly, I mean, we know Mixwell can definitely deliver. We need to see some plays here from Nafly, though. And right now, it's a similar situation to what we saw in the pistol round here for Astralis. 3 players working their way down alley. Xyp9x already pushed out from A main, and Glaive is going to rotate over there to back up Xyp9x. But Mixwell, he's got the angle, and he gets the first shot.
Yeah, it looked like an easy kill on Kjaerbye. I'm surprised nobody tried to at least flash Mixwell out from that position. He's going to go and challenge again. Device is right on the other side. That smoke going to cancel out the Molotov, and unfortunately for Optic, they lose Rush to Glaive, who finds the second headshot on Tarik as well. Finally, they get the return kill. Mixwell takes one, but he can't get the follow-up flick. Almost getting himself killed, and it's a 3-on-2 as Device picks up Stanislaw, and the bomb is going to go down. They've got so much time here, Astralis, to put it down as well. Naf and Mixwell, 2 AWPs for the retake.
And Device is already in position to block Mixwell. Glaive has got the angle holding towards Connector. Everything is covered here for Astralis. This is an incredibly difficult scenario now for Optic to try and make work because Mixwell has hardly got any HP at all. He has to be very careful when he peeks these angles. And you're retaking with 2 ops. You can't afford to miss a single shot, and it is actually going to back off. They're going to call for the rotate out, and it's not going to happen because, like I said, Device, he had Mixwell boxed in.
I mean, that's even more heartbreaking, isn't it? It's one thing to make the choice to give up the round and just run away, but when you then don't save the rifles, it feels like it's even worse. They will be able to save this 1 AWP at least on Nafly, but that's a brutal way to get started, especially because they get that early kill on Kjaerbye over by the back alley. As soon as they get that, they're in a good position, but then Astralis, and especially Glaive.
Exactly.
Those 2 kills, just fighting their way back.
I'm glad that we have Glaive's position as well, because he manages to get in here, pick up the first kill, and I think he gets the drop on Tarik as well. Yeah, Tarik looking towards Pop Dog. That's just unfortunate. But those are the 2 key kills that actually allow Astralis to get back onto the A side in a meaningful way. 6-0 lead now for Astralis. And while Optic, Nafly, it's all on you. All eyes are on this saved op. We've seen it happen in the past where a saved sniper rifle wins a team around. So Nafly's going to have to deliver here.
Shocking to me that they don't give it to Mixwell, just because between Nafly and Mixwell, I've probably picked Mixwell over it. I just feel like he's a much more explosive player than Naf is. But so far, they've let him keep it. And the rest only have pistols and a little bit of armor. I mean, that's something. Not many grenades either. Stan going to be moving up. They're right on the other side, and you can see without the X-ray, it's very hard to see. That's what the players see. They don't see that outline through the smoke or through the wall or anything. They're playing without all of that, and it makes the game, I mean, slightly more difficult.
Yeah, that just shows you how quick they are. When somebody comes whipping around a corner, they don't get the X-ray to prepare themselves, you know, for that angle to, okay, time the shot. No, they have to react instantly. And some of these players are just lightning quick. It's one of the qualities that you have to be a pro CS player. The tactical mind, but also the mechanics, the ability to be so fast. Now, we're in an even situation here as far as manpower is concerned, but still, Optic on pistols in this round. Astralis with the rifles, and Astralis, after clearing out Brown Halls, or at least putting a little bit of pressure over there, they are trying to rotate back around over here towards the A site, and Tarik has pushed aggressively into A main. He's looking to take a fight here. It's going to be Xyp9x holding this angle.
And this is smart play from Optic. You know, when you've got this little equipment, you've got to do something to try and even it out. An aggression like this could be working out. He's going to get jumped by Sip. Rush trying to initiate on the other side by Pop Dog. He goes down to Glaive, and Naf is technically in the right position for the sniper rifle. They're just not really showing themselves, but he's in the right side of the map. Mixwell is in C connector, so they can't help each other out. If anyone gets attacked here, they're going to have to fight it on their own. Good kill on Xyp9x, the bomb down. And Astralis don't need to fight anything. There's no point in anyone from the terrorist side fighting That bomb is going to go up eventually.
Saul Mixwell here, point blank with the Deagle, and he's not checking the correct angle there, unfortunately for him. But, I mean, you can't really fault Naf for going over towards Ali at the end, or at the beginning of the round. We'll see if he actually catches. Yeah, Kjærby going for the shoulder peaks, point blank, Naf! That's a nice shot. Making it a little bit more expensive here for Astralis, and now he's actually fought his way out of this situation. He's going to be able to save this AWP for the next round, which is very important. But you can't really fault Naf for the position that he had. He was looking to counter Astralis if they went Ali again. Astralis keep putting pressure over at Ali. It's a common spot, and so Naf not really able to get any high-impact kills out of that AWP, unfortunately, but he saves it. That's the important thing.
They will buy another one. The fans definitely keeping up the hype here for the American team, even though they've yet to get around on the board. It's very important. It's a phenomenon that's actually has some history in Counter-Strike, that when the crowd is behind you, you tend to keep up momentum a little bit longer. You keep fighting just past maybe some of the pain that they were experiencing here. 8th round is coming up. They buy another AWP on the CT side. They need to make an impact. They need to pick up rounds now.
And there we go again. Astralis back to the basics for them. This is turning into a bit of a pattern here. 3 players over at Ali. Nafly once again holding, but he's got the angle. Device. That one flash forces Naf to back off, and that sets it up for Device to open things up here for Astralis. A man advantage now for Astralis, and this is a buy round for Optic Gaming. They're desperate at this point, Anders. 7-0 lead for Astralis on T-side train. Optic need to get on the board in this round.
It's looking incredibly rough for Optic here, and they keep losing those early frags. That makes it so rough. They need to, I mean, this is where you actually would like to see them take a risk. Mixwell maybe push down at Ivy, or maybe Stanislaw try and push up to upper B, just to try and see if he can get more information. Because if you're a man down on the CT side, you'll have no information, and it's impossible to get a fair fight. You see, they have split themselves up, so there's 2 in B and 2 in A, which means no matter where Astralis attack, they will have a 5-on-2 of their hands. It's just not a fair fight, you know.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit, and you're getting down to that 45-second mark, and Tarik is starting to think about it. Perhaps they might go for a gamble and rotate Stanislaw back over towards that A site with Tarik trying to hold close. But this is really now, it's past that point where you're making the information play for Optic. They're just crossing their fingers and hoping that they're going to hit the shots when Astralis pull the trigger. And Astralis now, 30 seconds left, are starting to make the push. Dupree taken out immediately by Rush. And we've seen some fantastic plays from Rush so far this tournament, but unfortunately he peeks right into Device. 20 seconds though. This isn't a lot of time for Astralis, but they're still getting the kills.
It really isn't. Still an outside chance they could win this round, Optic, just by dropping the guy planting the bomb. But he's on the other side of the train. Now, you can shoot under the train, but not when there's a Molotov in front holding you that far back. Glaive going to get the bomb plant in. Tarik and Stan, this would be a huge clutch. 2 versus 4. They're going to try and see if they can boost up on the booth, but that is not going to happen. Glaive denying them any chance of that. Now, Tarik on the run here. This story just repeating itself again and again for Optic in this first half.
And they're going to start closing in here like sharks, Astralis. There's blood in the water. Tarik is desperately... He's just trying to run away at this point to save his M4. But look at this. 3, 4 players closing in on him from all angles. Astralis not going to let him get away for free.
Here's the real question, Semler. Where is the tactical timeout for Optic? Where's the point in time? Actually, they just took it. So that's, I would even say, a little bit late. But they do have 4 of them in total in each map. You need to calm down at this point, you know, just... think about what it is you're doing and what's working and what isn't working. There's not really a lot of talking going on as far as we can tell.
I mean, we have to put this out there, right? The fact that there weren't a lot of people getting behind Optic when they were coming into this tournament, because we just saw them last week on another LAN at DreamHack over in Sweden where they got destroyed in the groups. And it looked like this a little bit, where they just looked a little deflated, not a lot of talking. And so coming into this tournament, right, yes, okay, you have to give a little bit of a margin from one LAN to the next, but there wasn't that much backing Optic, not that much faith. Of course, now they're in the grand finals, so they've definitely proved quite a few people wrong, but they need to find that fire again. Whatever got them through the semis, whatever managed to get them to upset phase, they need to make that happen here versus Astralis.
I feel like more often than not, when that happens, it's down to an individual. It has to be somebody stepping up and getting, you know, triple or quad killing around, really making a big impact. Otherwise, it's just very hard collectively as a team to get back in. They're trying to see if they can maybe throw Xyp9x for a bit of a loop, but he's going to get 2 big kills.
And I'll go ahead and point that out now, because that's a good example right there. Xyp9x, I mean, yes, okay, you can see that the players see things, obviously, but they can also hear footsteps. And that's how Xyp9x is able to hit that shot. He hears Mixwell coming. And so Device misses the point-blank flick. This is a little awkward for Astralis. That bomb is dropped out in the open now. So long as Naf is alive, and he's going to get back up here from Tarik, at least Optic have a chance to put up a fight.
They take care of Glaive. Again, the equipment just not really ready for this kind of fight. Tarek moving in with the deal. He can't get the follow-up shot there on Dupree. Would have been nice with an additional kill in the round. This is, especially because Astralis are playing so measured right now. They're not really giving any hostages to fortune. They're just slowly walking across the map, taking group fights really against the pistols when they have rifles. Rush isolated in the corner and also alone on the map.
That's very methodical from Astralis, but this is, we're going back to the basics here with Astralis. How do you handle an anti-eco scenario? You take the time, you make use of your nade superiority so that you can clear out angles, you have your flashes, your molotovs, so you eliminate places for Optic to hide up close with these pistols, and then you move together as a unit so that there's always somebody there to trade the kill. If you somehow go around the corner, you get caught off guard, you go down, your teammate is immediately behind you to make sure that this doesn't happen, where you're hanging out on your own, and now Rush gets to pick up a gun. And that gun can make all the difference here. Rush might have just enough time. That bomb has only just been planted.
Yeah, I think without the kit, and because...
without the kit, I think. If he'd had a kit, maybe he goes for it. Because they're buying in the next round.
Yeah, and it's also one of the things, again, it comes down to someone has to make a big play. So if he clutches a 1v3, that would be something that could catapult his team back into it. But he was quite far away. And Astralis went for the ultra-safe round and just trying to plant in B instead. That's a little bit crazy. Rush is also sandwiched in. He gets the leg shot through the wall, but it's not enough to get the kill. Bomb has gone up, but there's still a couple of seconds left of the round. He goes for the challenge, and Sip will take the gun away. That's a quad kill for Sipnix as well, who honestly has been, this whole tournament, this whole playoffs, he's starting very early.
That is an adorable dab.
I like it. 9 rounds in, and all 9 rounds have gone for Astralis here. Unreal. This is fantastic. I love this. A lecture hall watching Counter-Strike on the projector.
That's sick.
These people are getting a real education right now. Just, as long as...
Priorities, Anders, right?
As long as they're learning from Astralis enough from Optic, I'm all right with it.
Okay, then. Just want to say, hall full of Optic fans here. And hey, stop, Anders. We want to make it out. No, never mind.
But if they want Optic to win, they need to cheer a little bit more for them, because I think they need it right now. 9-0 is the scoreline. They need to get something working, and I mean, the momentum, this team looks deflated at the moment, and we haven't seen that from them. Not in the quarterfinals, not in the semifinals. They look hyped up, and the fans are still with them. Napa's going to be going down early on here. It's not a good sign. 4 versus 5. Mixwell falling back and covering the B bomb site alone.
You have the lone Astralis fan call it out at the end. I like it. Rush. No, all right, communicate, guys. Communicate. Tell your teammate to get out of the way of the ladder so you can get up here and hold the angle on A main. 58 seconds left in this round, and Astralis continue. I mean, they're just slowly constricting on Optic right now. They started off strong to destabilize Optic with the aggression, and now they're going back to very basic fundamental CS. Default setups where they're looking for contact. They're looking for Optic to make the play and walk right into their setup right now. So good thing here from Optic, however, is that they haven't given Astralis another kill. So it is going to be an A-site push here from Astralis. They finally commit, and Rush gets the shot, but instantly traded again. That spacing, so good for Astralis.
Nice movement from Tarek. This is a really good positional play. He can't connect with the follow-up spray. That would have been a great transfer if you could have got Sipnix as well. Stan is double takedown 1. It's still a 2-on-2. 20 seconds left for Astralis. They're actually running out of time and not really managing that time very well at all. But the bomb is making its way back. Look at Glaive. He's on a huge adventure here into the B bomb site. Now Stan and Mixwell are going to rotate in, but they have to worry about Sipnix coming in from behind. This is a chaotic round here at the end. I mean, a 2-on-2 with the bomb now just going down. And Stan walking up the sidewalk. He's got the grenade out. He's going to put it up. Sip, is he going to respect it? He's right on the other side. He will be falling back. Stan is not going to get the better angle on Glaive. He takes him down. Now it's on Sipnix. 1 versus 2. If he can clutch this one, that's going to take all hope away from Optic. He's on the high ground, but he's got no grenades left, and they're covering it. Mixwell up there. Stanislaw defusing. If he misses the shot, Mixwell, it might all be over. He's going to go for the peek. He misses it, but the defuse comes in. Oh, my God. It finally happens. Optic picking up a round. Maybe it was the crowd, Semler.
Tough scenario there for Zipnix. He's an artist in those clutch situations. 1vx. You can almost always count on Zipnix to come through with something magical there, but he missed the timing. He had the opening, but he misses the shot. And I'm not referring to Mixwell there. I'm referring to Zipnix. I think he went for the shoulder peek instead of fully committing, not realizing just how far along that defuse was. So uncommon error there made by Astralis and by Zipnix in the end, but still, they've got such a huge lead. 9-1. And now Optic finally on the board here. They need to pick up every remaining round here in this first half on this map.
Mixwell trying with the aggression, but that Molotov is going to put him back from the upper B hallways, which is a very favorable position. If you get someone up there, especially Mixwell with the sniper rifle, he's going to have so much information about who's on that side of the map and who isn't. So it's a nice idea, but they just can't hold the position for very long.
Now we're starting to see they've got the alley control, Astralis. They're going through the motions here, really. Alley control is now theirs. Kjærby next. Going to start trying to think about A main. Xyp9x is starting to fall off of the B halls as well after making a little bit of noise over there. And now we see them spreading out once again. Don't think that Astralis really want to let things tick down that far. Not like last round where they leave themselves 20 seconds to get onto the site and plant the bomb. That's cutting it way too close. So expect to see Astralis go within the next 10 to 15 seconds here just to give themselves a little bit more of a margin for error.
And a massively unusual strategy coming out here for the Danish side. 4 people coming through Ivy. They get that first shot on Rush, and that's probably going to set off the avalanche here. They're coming through, rushing around the backside. In fact, Nafly running out of bullets. He's still going to pick up another kill with the pistol. Kjærby running right into it. And again, we're down to 30 seconds. Great kill coming in. Tariq taking out Device, and dupreeh will fall as well. Glaive, the last one left, and Nafly, he goes for the spray. He's going to get the quad kill, and Optic picking up a second round. Very well done.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. Hit the shots. And that's Nafly holding a very tricky position here because they did go right in on him. dupreeh just a second too late to back up Kjærby there. So maybe a little bit of miscommunication on Astralis. But this is also an individual performance from Nafly. Quad kill for him in that round, making the difference. And that's the kind of play that will get your team fired up. If one player goes above and beyond, basically, goes beyond his limits to actually hit all the shots, rest of the team are going to be inspired to step up and actually start getting their job done.
Now the rest need to follow it up. They need to make this work. Mixwell, he tries for a moment to challenge that Molotov and maybe get a kill on somebody, but it doesn't really work out. Again, he's forced back early on. He really wants that position up in the brown holes, and I don't blame him for it, but now that they've lost all that control, can they hold that B bomb site if it happens?
Nice flash to open it, and Mixwell not going to be able to hit that shot. Instead, Glaive finds Stanislaw. Just like that, that single kill has opened up the B site. That's going to allow Astralis to get the bomb plant here early in the round as well. And now it's all down to the rotation, but the nades are sailing in. Connector has been blocked off, and you have Kjærby already in the aggro spot right here, waiting for the rotation to come through. He should be able to get a kill on Nafly. He spots him, but Tariq is there to save it.
That's the beginning of a potential comeback with Device with the refrag. Makes it very tricky indeed. They're almost out of grenades. Rush going to put in a Molotov up on the ground as well. See, maybe he can force somebody back. Glaive will be going down. There's a nice kill from Rush, but a lot of time has already passed. And that Molotov landing on the bomb, so nobody can defuse it. Rush, he's going to get the kill. He comes up on the ladder through the smoke, and Nafly challenging it is not going to be working out. Xyp will get the 1 kill, and dupreeh up on the high ground. The bomb is going to be going up. A great effort for Rush. I mean, he picks up the triple kill, but they just didn't have time for it.
They didn't have enough time to make it work. And that's, again, Rush, the standout player for Optic so far. He's had a fantastic tournament. But this is the key kill right here. The fact that Glaive just takes down Stanislaw so quickly allows for that bomb plant to happen. It allows for Astralis to go aggressive as well, get close up to Connector. And that really throws a stick in things for Optic. It made their jobs a whole lot harder with that retake. And now, well, I mean, you have no options here, Optic. You have to spend all your money. You have to buy. You're desperate at this point to get the remaining 3 rounds in this half.
Yes, I think they're doing the right thing in making the spy. There's no reason not to really. Mixwell with a nice flick. There's a good shot coming out. I mean, he's been really quiet. Tariq following it up and taking down dupreeh. He even spots more people there. Mixwell being proactive, but eventually he'll fall. Glaive pushed far enough in to get that angle on him. 4 versus 3 still, and the flank is coming in. Nafly walking in behind them. Step by step, he's going to win this round. He only has the deagle, but he's got such a good angle. There's the shot. Drops the bomb from Glaive.
And they're stuck now. Astralis 2-on-4 situation here, and they don't have the bomb. They have to worry about Nafly winning in A main. Xyp9x gets tagged down to 2 HP, barely hangs in there. And now we're running out of nade time as well. Xyp9x gets caught at electric, and now it's all on Kjærby, 1v4.
And he can't even get out. You know, one of these, you can win a 1 versus 4. If they don't know where you are, you have the bomb and you have time. But that's not really the case here. He's lacking almost all of that. They know where you are. He doesn't have the bomb, and he's also slowly running out of time. And then he's going to get shot in the back, in fact. Rush, not a gentleman at the moment. Not going to be a fair fight. They can't afford to take those up right now. 10-3 is the scoreline as we move into the 14th round. We're almost to the end of the first half, and then obviously they're going to switch sides, and Optic get to play on the T side, which admittedly, they did very well when they played Train earlier in the tournament.
It's true. They did show a total lack of respect, just all-out aggression. But you do need to have a bit of confidence going into it to actually pull that off, and they're just taking a beating right now, Anders. Although they will have a bit of a feel-good round here. Astralis, they're ecoing. They're going to save their money for the last round of this first half so that they can buy the rifles here, which means pistols for Astralis. They haven't had much luck on that A site recently, so it does look like they want to try and head over here towards B, at least start clearing things out. And this is usually the site that you want to take. If you've got pistols, it's usually towards the B site that you want to go, because one shot onto Stanislaw, you get the bomb plant, and things start rolling from there, rather than having to go out in the open on the A site where there are so many angles you have to worry about.
dupreeh has a single flashbang, and it'd be interesting to see if that's going to be enough to open up one of these bomb sites. I mean, it can be even with just the pistols. Depends on whether or not he can connect with Stan and Mixwell, who are on the other side defending. They're so far back, I think that flashbang is going to be very hard to hit, but he's certainly setting up for it. Device is hoping that someone's going to get anxious once the action rolls on the B-bomb side. People start running around in A to scramble to get over there. Maybe Device could pick one of them off, and it would spawn even more chaos.
I'm just a little bit worried about Astralis slowing down the pace this much. I kind of want them to just get in there, because we need to see that lack of respect that they were showing at the beginning of this half. If you start letting Optic get comfortable, that's when life gets tricky. Can they actually get the bomb plant or not? No, it gets denied by Mixwell. Tarek finds the shot on Device as well, and now it's Kjaerbye and Xyp9x trying to fight their way back into this. Kjaerbye might be able to stick the plant. This is what is so important here. If you get the bomb plant, but you lose the round, you get a bonus $800 that you wouldn't get otherwise. And that's the whole goal of this round for Astralis. Get that bomb planted. So it's a successful round for Astralis. Even if they lose it, they're going to have ample money going into the next round here. Optic, they'll keep all 5 players alive. So that double AWP is going to stay here as that fixed strategy for the 15th round.
That is actually very well done by Mixwell. He had 3 targets to aim at, and he chooses the one that's sort of fighting back at him. And sometimes you see people, they just sort of flick all over the place. They forget what they're actually doing, and they end up getting traded, but he chose the right target immediately. 15th round, the last of the half. Optic have a double up. They have all the grenades. They have all the equipment they could possibly want. Same is definitely not true for Astralis. There's an upside chance here that this could be a 10-5 scoreline. Wouldn't be too bad, would it? I mean, at that point in time, if you win the pistol, at least you're still competitive.
Here we go. I like it. It's time for the YOLO B. Get in there quick. Stanislaw. Oh, where's the rest of the team? Xyp9x is in there alone, but nobody is there to back him up. Bit of a mistake coming out here from Astralis. Xyp9x gets traded for free. They do recover the AK, so that's not too much of a problem, but now they're down a man, and they really did want, it looked to me, at least at the beginning there, that they wanted to change up the pace and go for that aggression again, go for the rush onto the B site. Would have said that wouldn't have been a bad idea. Now things slow down, and the Ops can get into position to deal with this.
Now, they have a great setup here, Optic. Tarek in the back line, he's going to be able to see when they come in. It's hard for them to sort of, they can put up a smoke, but they still have to run through it at some point. And when they come out of that smoke, he's still got a good shot against him. And he's got Stanislaw a little bit closer with the rifle. Smoke goes up, counter grenade coming out from Tarek. And he actually gets flashed quite heavily. Stan can't see anything up there. He's flashed for 10 seconds, and what an entrance. Astralis coming through. Device of the pre picking out 2 big kills. Glaive is going to be going down in return. A 3-on-3. The bomb just now going down.
All right, but Astralis can't really let Optic hit their stride here. They have to try and catch them early. Mixwell making a lot of noise. Not sure if he spotted Kjaerbye, but Nafly certainly did. So they know that somebody's holding close now. Optic need to play off this info, and Naf will win the duel. Man advantage going into it, and Mixwell misses the shot point blank. That's not expected, and now dupreeh's in the back line. They have to worry about him.
Especially when he escapes around the corner. Rush can't even go and hunt for him. He hasn't got a smoke either, so he can't defuse inside of that. He just has to hope for it, and the Molotov lands just to make things worse. dupreeh ends with a triple kill and actually double his kills in the game. Him and Kjaerbye were almost not doing anything, and they still end up at an 11-4 scoreline for the first half. That's just very, very impressive. Stay with us, and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the second half that's coming up here. First map of this grand finals here, second season of E-League. It's between Optic Gaming and Astralis, and so far it's been a very one-sided match on Train. It's 11-4 in the first half in favor of Astralis. Optic had a really rough time on the CT side. What do you think, Semler? Is there any hope left for them?
we're looking for surprises here, Anders. Right now, it's going according to plan for Astralis. It's actually going according to expectations as well. Optic are a massive underdog in this match, and Astralis showed us that in the first half. They went charging into Optic to begin with, went very aggressive to destabilize Optic's defense, and then slowed it down, went back to basics, and you can see the result, 11-4 lead going into the second half for Astralis right now. So, best anime. All right. But now it's on Optic to go with a very aggressive pistol round, I think, right now. They need to just go out, look for kills, shake off the nerves, as Moses was saying.
And they have some of the tools for that, including that Tech-9 and armor on Nafly. So he's going to be a bit of a tank, and he's got a lot of bullets in that Tech-9, and it's very easy to run and gun with it. That's going to be the plan. Already they're out. Rush picking up a kill. Glaive. He's going to take out Mixwell, though. Great shot from Terry to take out Glaive. And now 4 versus 3. They've got a bit of a lead and also a chance to get the bomb down. But Kjaerbye still infiltrating the back line, taking out Rush, and he sees the shadow, drops Nafly as well. Instant one-click headshot, and Terry and Stan now left. They have to hold on long enough for that bomb to go off. Otherwise, this is not going to work out.
Yeah, they have to find some shots, but they're giving away their positions, and now they know Pop Dog and over by main, and they're going to get crunched on. Device takes a long fight with Tarek, and now it's Stanislaw. He has to be the hero. He has no Kevlar, no grenades. It's all on the pistols, trying to draw attention to himself. He hits one shot onto Kjaerbye. The defuse is coming in, and he's looking to cancel it. Great body blocking coming in from Device, but he loses the bullets, and he has to go for the reload. Not going to happen, Optic. Heartbreaking start to this half. They came so close, and it was everything right. He was doing everything right at the end.
That was like a scene straight out of a movie, wasn't it? Standing in front of the bullets to stop your teammate from dying while he's getting the defuse in. I can't believe it. And then he runs out at the end.
2 more bullets. If he has 2 more bullets left, Stanislaw, they win that round. Unbelievable. And they did. They did everything right there, Anders, as well. They went aggressive. They just charged at Astralis. They got the opening kill and the bomb plant. They just weren't. Lady Luck wasn't with them today on that round, Optic. That's so unfortunate.
I can't believe it. Heartbreaking way to get started here for Optic in the second half. They needed that pistol round to get back in the game. That could have sparked something for them. Now instead, the rifles are all on Astralis. The submachine guns too. On Dupree and on Glaive, they do so much damage to UMP. Mixwell alone, he goes down a second later. That's 13-4. Another 3 rounds, and Astralis will have swept this first map away from Optic Gaming, and we're going to go to map 2. That's all there is.
And we have to remind everybody exactly. Cobble is coming up next, and that is Optic's pick, but Optic should be pretty solid on Train. The whole point of this is just an arrogant pick ban coming in from Astralis. They're clearly saying to Optic, we're going to take your best maps and we'll beat you on your best maps. So imagine getting swept on the first map here. Going into the second map, it's going to be brutal for Optic, but still, it's not done yet. There's still time. 3 rounds left here for Astralis to secure the first map. 13-4. And we have the buy round coming in here from Optic. The rifles across the board, but hardly any nades to speak of. So if ever they were going to hit headshots, it's now, Anders.
It has to happen. Well, interesting use of grenades. It does at least force Kjaerbye to reveal himself. Now Stanislaw going to be trying to creep in, and he gets quite far into the yard here. They haven't spotted him yet. An easy headshot. Dupree caught sleeping in the middle of that bomb site, and now Stanislaw, he has to just wait. He has to buy time, or he can get a headshot on Kjaerbye. That's even better, but as he does that, his teammates are coming out behind the bomb site. Stanislaw picking up a 3rd kill. Wrecking Astralis in this round. Very well done.
Device has got to be wondering, is this deathmatch? Did I log into a deathmatch server here? What is going on? One shot after another hit by Stanislaw, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what you need, a star player to come to the fore and actually lead the team. Device will hit the shot on Mixwell, but little does he know, Nafly's already got his back. 13-5, Optic, 1 round closer. Still with a long way to go, however.
I mean, a big test being passed here by Optic, winning the round that they finally get to buy in. You see, Stanislaw didn't actually need to get even anything after the first kill, was just all fluff, because in the meantime, they're pushing up back alley. He can just wait, and his teammates will come in and help him out, but it's really, really well done. They save, or they buy a 1 scout here on Device, just... They're that confident. They feel like they could do it.
Yeah, Device, this is just balancing out the money. Astralis are clearly saving their money for the next round. And even then, this is almost a double eco scenario here for Astralis. Luckily for them, they have a terrific lead. And so they can't afford to kind of have these rounds where they have the pistols. They know that they have a huge margin for error here. But then, you know, you have a little bit of bonus money. Why not? Go for the scout. Get the sniper rifle. Maybe you get some headshots in there. Or maybe you just die swiftly. Thank you, Mixwell.
That grenade actually blew the scout into the corner, making it difficult for anyone else to pick it up. So that's not too bad. The 19th round here being played very slowly for Optic Gaming. And you can't blame them for that. If they are going to lose this map, the one thing you don't want to do is losing it to an eco round. That would be very disheartening.
Heartbreaking is the word, yeah. Disastrous, catastrophic. I mean, a number of ways. Xyp9x going on a huge flank here, though. He's going to work his way right down behind Popdog. As soon as this push begins in Popdog, Xyp9x is going to be on top of it. He's got 3 players lined up in front of him. If only he had a P250 or a 5.7, something with some oomph to it. Instead, he gets run down. There was a chance, but not meant to be this time, Xyp9x. A team ace for Optic. Everybody on the team picking up a kill, and that's a 6th round on the board for Optic. Well done on their part.
If only he could have hit a shot, you know, that would have certainly helped out as well, but not going to happen this time. That might have been one of the easiest lineups in this game so far for Xyp9x, but just didn't connect with anything. All right.
Sick.
Hanging out at Buffalo Wild Wings and enjoying the game.
Projector as well. A lot of projectors we're seeing.
That green wall is everywhere, it seems. Just all of the people tweeting in, they've all got that hashtag. It's wonderful. 20th round coming up. Starts off with Mixwell taking out dupreeh. And Astralis have bought in this round, so they've actually put a lot into it. Things are getting interesting.
Curious to see. Right now, Optic, yeah, they get the opening start. They get the headshot onto Glaive as well, dropping him down. Or at least the tag, and well, Glaive has to take a risk. And this is exactly what is necessary at this point. The only problem is Stanislaw is ready and waiting for it. There is that interplay between both teams at that point, given how a round starts, then Optic will react to that. Then the ball is in Astralis' court. It's up to Astralis to make some kind of a move to bring it back to a 4-on-4. And so Optic are content to just sit and wait for that very play right there. Glaive goes down, and now he's actually gambling with his teammates. They're putting all 3 of the defense here on the A side. They're going to focus on one side, it looks like, with Xyp9x holding connector towards B.
This round, I mean, if they lose these rifles, Astralis, they have $400 between them spread across the team, so they'll be saving for quite a while if that happens. Device goes down, great shot from Nafly. Kjaerbye and Xyp9x trying some shenanigans here. They're boosted up on the booth, but they're going to get shut down. Optic, tired of losing rounds. They definitely lost the first half, but somehow they're still hanging on.
Excellent work. They're starting to get some confidence here, Optic. 7-13, and this is going to put Astralis onto pistols again, so another easy round should be coming up here for Optic, so long as they keep their focus. I mean, they are hitting shots.
This is turning into a wild ride, I feel like, and now you have to wonder what would have happened if they could have won any of the pistol rounds. I mean, if they could have got that much, suddenly the gap would be much smaller. It could have been sort of a tied scoreline here at 10-10 instead of a 13-7. That's definitely a possibility, but they haven't been so fortunate, and that needs to change when we go into the next map. Regardless, they need to pick up one of those pistol rounds later on. They do have all the equipment, and the Astralis have nothing, not even any grenades.
No.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah, 3 P250s. They've spent $900 on this round. You can kind of see that in the difference at the top under the score there. $27,000 spent this round for Optic, fully equipped. Very nicely done. But Astralis are just saving right now, and the push comes in, minute 10 left on this clock, and with the chant beginning, Optic are starting to pressure the A site, seeing if they can't find a kill to open things up here.
Good grenade and follow-up from Nafly. Stan ready and waiting. It's going to be a fairly easy cleanup here. They will lose 2 players, but unless Xyp can find a good angle, that should be all there is. No chance that he wins a 1v3 here with no equipment, and they re-smoke it. His life is not easy right now. Tarek can take the kill with the smoke. And now the gap has shrunk to just 5 rounds.
What we're seeing here as well is just, I mean, Optic right now, they're obstinate. They're going towards this A site, and they're doing it the same way every round practically as well. They just keep working their way out A main, finding kills, and this is going to start tilting Astralis because you need to find a way to have an answer to this on the A site before Optic even think about going B site. They haven't gone B site yet, Andrew. So, I mean, Optic are clearly like putting Astralis to the test. They're saying, if you can't stop us on this site, we're just going to keep coming here. And it's going to be up to you to force us to change up our game.
Well, let's see if there is a game change for Astralis. They still got the 4-man setup out in A, and actually very quickly they start to rotate Device back in, but they're not pushing aggressive anywhere, which is something that they've done in the past. When they played this game against SK, they had Kirby pushing up down back alley all the time. He was down at Ivy and looking into T-Spawn. That doesn't happen this time, but Xyp9x going to win a double fight there, takes out Taric, and then Nafly. You can't possibly ask for a better start.
Oh, and the shot landed onto Stanislaw as well. A leg shot there from Device. That AWP, it's the body shot you want. That's a one-shot, one-kill sort of scenario. But if you leg someone, they get out of it with 17, 16 HP. So Stanislaw, he's limping away back over here to pick up the bomb and reunite with his teammates. Russian Mixwell still alive, and Mixwell still has that AWP. And they have ample time here. 57 seconds left in this round for Optic to try and make a play. And while they're going back to what's worked so far, through A main to see if they can't find an opening here. But Device has already got the angle with the op.
Can Mixwell challenge him? He did it once already. They're going to make a jump, but Device actually doesn't bite. He realizes that could be just a bit of bait and doesn't get the shot in. And now Mixwell has the angle, but they're out of time. This is the big problem. 35 seconds on the clock. Kjaerbye gets a kill on Rush. And Stanislaw goes down to Xyp. That's the third kill of the round for him. At 14-8 going to be the scoreline. Astralis now 2 rounds away from picking up Train, the first map here of the Grand Finals.
This is the issue, though, and I'm glad that Xyp9x gets this kind of chance because he keeps having to go into retake A, and that's always a nightmare when you're 1vx. I mean, it's just it's so hard to hit your shots. Here, finally, he gets tested, and he's able to deliver for his team. That breaks the streak. Astralis, 14-8 now.
It's always interesting, Selma, when you see a new meme being born. That guy's styling was just definitely gonna be on Reddit. It will be the 23rd round, and we've got 4 AKs, 1 AWP there on Optic. A little bit of a mix on the Astralis side. They are still just playing a normal game here on the CT side. Nothing tricky's been attempted. No one's pushing anywhere. They're very confident in this basic setup.
Yeah, they're going for that early gamble right now, Astralis, with 4 players over on the B site. Device now starting to rotate back, or he's thinking about it. But Optic, you see the change. They made some noise over towards alleyway. They even set up an A main, but now the full rotation is coming out here from Optic Gaming. Minute 10 left on the clock, and it looks like they want to try and change it up. Astralis have finally forced them to change their strategy here, and they're going to go as a unit towards this B side, it looks like.
And I'm quite liking this. They should be able to smoke off Device. Xyp is in a slightly more tricky position. He can definitely get a kill, and it's going to be hard for them to return it. But still, they can get down and get the bomb down, and they have so many Molotovs on the Optic side. Now the push begins, all the grenades raining in, but no, they don't get the smoke in. Instead, Device going to pick up the kill on Rush. That is not a good way to get started. Now they're a man down to Device, going to take down Taric as well. It's a 3 versus 5. The bomb, it is going to be planted, but the flank is already in. Astralis, they've got them sandwiched, and yet Mixwell and Nafly, they pick up a couple of kills, and they make it a 3-on-3. They're all stuck. They line up for Glaive. He's going to pick up one, comes back with a pistol. Mixwell trapped in there in a 1-on-2, and he goes down to Kjaerbye. Astralis going to pick up the 15th round, and it's map point for them.
So many details in play there, and in large part, that round win is due to Glaive and the call. Already, we've seen on Train, Astralis' B hold is formidable, right? But they're also so confident in their ability to retake. Glaive just took it a step further, however. He had 2 players waiting in Pop Dog. He's like, they're going to go B, and we're going to go for a flank immediately once that push begins. Hard countered. That's what happened here. And now Optic, well, they're going to have to dig deep because they need 7 rounds in a row if they want to keep their hopes alive here on this first map of the Grand Finals.
So surprised that they didn't manage to smoke off Device as well, because if you start that B rush a man down, it gets really difficult towards the end, especially.
Details. Small mistakes are what cost you maps.
Nafly is actually the one who's outperforming everybody on the Optic team here. 22 kills. He's tied with Device at 22. That's quite an individual performance from him. Taric and Mixwell, they need to step up and do more in this Grand Finals. And they don't have any room left to do anything with here. If they don't win the next 7 rounds in a row and get into overtime, they're going to lose the first map.
Well, it was what Thorn was saying on the analyst desk in the semifinal versus FaZe, is that if Optic, right, if they don't have the depth just yet, so unless all of their star players show up and are all hitting their shots, it's so difficult when they go up against a more structured team such as Astralis, who have the experience, who are veterans, they're European, they're playing in the most competitive area in the world. You need your star players to show up if you're actually going to go toe-to-toe with Astralis. So you're right. Naf right now doing well, but we have to see the rest of it. Default A execute coming in here from Optic, it looks like.
And this is so tough because dupreeh's actually in a position where he can look over the smoke. He's up in the sniper's nest. Mixwell or somebody else has to take care of that. The Molotov, it's going to land down on the site, but there's nobody there. Still a 5-on-5. The bomb being attempted. They managed to get past Dupree, and that's already a bit of a win for Optic Gaming. This could be the round for them. They're going to get the kill on Kjaerbye as well, and suddenly it's a 4-on-5. Dupree, he's just been passive this whole time. He hasn't really done anything for his team. Sipnik's going to take down Nafly. Dupree with a kill as well, finally dropping Tarek.
They still have some nades to use here. There's a smoke on Dupree. If he stays alive and is able to drop that onto the bomb to get that defuse rolling, that's going to give an opening. Device finds a shot on Mixwell, and it's all on Stanislaw. And Rush now in a 2v2 situation. They have time. That bomb is ticking down, and they're running out of it. Astralis, one headshot there for Dupree. It's on Stan now to manage to pull this off, and Device is still alive, and he gets the drop on him, but there's not enough time to defuse the bomb. Device has to back off and save. Optic have bought themselves another chance.
That's just very well done. A lot of the positioning for Astralis is actually meant to counter that wall of smokes where they put the bomb down inside, and Dupree, he was just quiet for a very long time. They got all the way up and put the bomb down. When he's up in that sniper nest, he can walk out and get some kills on top of it, and he didn't.
Now, sometimes you get this impression watching Astralis where they're getting to these crunch time situations, and you feel like everybody's staying put. And you're right, everybody was staying put. The full execute, bomb planted, and there still hadn't been a kill on either side. And that, to me, feels a little bit like Astralis sometimes. They don't want to be the first ones to make a mistake. Each player is just sitting there hoping that they're not the one to make a mistake that's going to cost the team the round. But sometimes you just have to get out there and take the fight. They had an edge, they had an advantage, and they lost it because they sat and didn't actually do anything.
No, I definitely agree. So Optic not just winning that round, but also buying themselves a really big chance at getting into double digits here. It forces Astralis back on nearly nothing. Device managed to save the AK from the previous round, but apart from that, they only have pistols, and not really that much to work with. And Optic are playing another slow round, which I think is smart.
They're taking their time with it. There's the opening. Nice headshot from Tarek. That's going to be a feel-good moment for him. Doesn't get the follow-up yet on Device, and that AK is going to be in play here on the A site. Nafly full flash. Barely gets back around Ebox to stay alive. And the rotation is now coming through here for Astralis. They will soon have all the defense alive on the site. Device picks up a kill with the AK all ready to start, and Zipnik's going to get caught. Another kill for Tarek, but the trade is there from Glaive.
3 versus 3, and the big problem is Dupree's actually coming in from behind. Glaive does go down. Device just needs to stay alive a little bit longer. Wait for Dupree to get out. That smoke fading, but it's not going to be quick enough. They re-smoked it. Mixwell, he will be going down, but it's the 1-on-2, and they know exactly where Dupree is. They haven't got the bomb down yet, and now it's a 1-on-1. Dupree, can he do this? He's got the double, goes for the spray down, rushes on the other side of the map. 25 seconds, and he goes for the bomb plant. Now he just has to hold it. He knows exactly where the Danish player is. Dupree trying to find the corner, trying to find the angle. He's got no grenades left to try and find this win. He gets the headshot regardless, survives on 8 health, and that's going to be it. Astralis picking up the first map here against Optic Gaming in the grand finals. That is a very, very tough game for Optic. They try their best to get back into it, but winning no pistol rounds, it's such an uphill battle.
And exactly right. You get those 3 rounds off the pistol round, and then this is what happens when one of those AKs or one of those AWPs gets saved. Device, his 2 kills were crucial in the round. Glaive as well.
Well, up next is the CSGO Pro Challenge presented by RB's 2 Lucky Fans. Gets a face-off against Tarek from Optic Gaming. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the E-League Studios. My name is Jason Moses O'Toole, and I'm bringing you the CSGO Pro Challenge presented by Arby's. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the fans to play against the pros in a 1-versus-1 deathmatch style. It's 5 minutes, and the fan who scores the most damage onto the pro will win. The winner gets tickets to the E-League Major, which is coming up here in Atlanta at the end of January. Today, our 2 fans are Nick Curtin, alias Envious Reflex, and Alexander Kandilarov, alias Kandilarov. They will be going up against Tarek. He is the star player for Optic Gaming, and he is no slouch. This is a situation where Tarek just playing with them, jumping over those boxes, going to spawn close, and Tarek can't land the shot, running out of bullets, but again, spawns right around, and Envious doesn't have time to reload. Tarek's going to use the pistol one more time, the Deagle, seeing what he can get, jumping to let him know where he is. Now pulls out the AK-47. He might have baited Envious into a little bit too much aggression, and there you can see, easily managed, and there's only 5 seconds left. Any more damage here at the end would be a benefit trying to get those major tickets. Oh, and he gets a lot, actually. Not bad there to close things out. That was a little bit too easy for the pro. And now we have the second fan facing off against Tarek Kandilarov, and he is going to start things out. They're going to get into a battle very quickly, but he gets punished pretty quickly. That's a nice wake-up call. Well, Tarek's going to go for the knife. He almost gets it. One slash in, but he can't clean up the kill. Tarek getting a little bit cocky, and he's punished. Again, another quick battle as they face off very early on, but Tarek this time recovers quickly. The speed of these is got to be very unsettling for these fans. And now Tarek getting highly aggressive, jumping around, trying to bait out a lot of shots, and there's the commit. Kandilarov just had no idea when it was going to come in. There's that attempted juke with the pistol, and it's just not working. Tarek doesn't care whatsoever, but he loses the fight. Gotta feel happy with what he's done so far, and that's going to be it. The winner of the CSGO Pro Challenge presented by Arby's is Alexander Kandilarov, alias Kandilarov. He will be heading to the E-League Major on January 27th right here in Atlanta.
I'm always going into a tournament and believing that we are capable of winning the whole. That's just how it is.
The trophy is what we all dream about. It's why you play. It's not the money or anything else. It's about lifting that trophy.
Astralis have been a struggle for such a long time, and we have just been number 2 and number 1 team in the world. We can win this tournament.
Yes, welcome back. We've had an awesome crowd here so far, but all that cheering wasn't enough to help Optic out. It is Astralis that's going to take the first map. But expect it, guys, they're beasts on Train.
Even so, though, I mean, this is a map where obviously if you're a good Train team, you can get CT rounds, and I feel like actually some of the T-side footage of Astralis should probably be censored out there because it was a bit brutal.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was as well, it was just a hot start for Astralis, and Optic has always struggled to come back in matches. The big thing with them is if you look at the Optic match from FaZe yesterday, specifically on this match, you can just really look at them and say, Optic is so young. Everyone's under 22 years old. It's almost like they didn't realize they were supposed to have respect or even fear a little bit some of these teams they're going up against. Well, this was a lesson. Astralis really put the fear in them. They got so passive on this map. They just got beat up way too much on the CT side. You could see in the second half, they have a pretty good T side, all things considered. They can do work on this map, but losing both pistols, there's really no avenue for a comeback. They didn't really have enough mistakes to give up, and Astralis just looks phenomenal on Train so far from what we've seen.
And I think what can give you a little bit of hope if you're an Optic fan is that they did get back into it. It could have been a blowout at this point.
I wanted to see them take a timeout like 4 or 5 rounds in just because they looked nervous. It was very obvious the way they were playing it. A couple players just missed some crucial information that could have helped them win a couple rounds. So you would have liked to have seen them just take that breath in this kind of a situation because they haven't been here. They haven't been on this stage quite yet. So this is all new to them. But as the game wore on, they get up towards 9 rounds. They get some, they start to get their legs on them. They're playing a little bit better. You could see a world in which they could challenge much, much better on this map. Just wasn't this game.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the guys from Optic, like they did take their chances. They had a lot of ops in their hands. They really, they gave their guys the tools to work with. But the guy who's not on the scoreboard here, I mean, Tarek, Mixwell was kind of a bit quiet. He had some impact kills, but not the big fragging performances we normally expect. And if you want to see how to shut down the T side of Astralis, go watch the last 2 times SK's played them, because Fallen on that CT side, he understands where Device gets his picks from, and he closes them down. In this game, that's the one guy they couldn't get to. Device was always getting his picks, and that was always opening the rounds up for Astralis.
Rush was still turning up, though, which is very good indeed. We said he was the X factor. I mean, he put in a good performance there. It just wasn't enough. A few other players did indeed go missing, but maybe they're warmed up now, going into their map.
It did look a little bit like Mixwell was probably the player the most on Optic, suffering from a little bit of nerves. There was some pretty standard shots that he missed there, especially when Astralis is executing out a teammate. And those are normally shots he hits, and I think that's what really hurt them. So, I mean, hopefully that first game is going to get him a little bit more zoned in on the second map coming up.
Yeah, and you've got a clip here that you picked out, one of the key rounds. Talk us through it. What's so important about this one?
Well, this is cool because Glaive and Dupree are in ladder room. They're going to have a quick flight going on once the execute comes in, but the real strength of it is Device. I mean, there's a little bit of miscommunication. Optic goes before that smoke plumes on the lower ramp. Device with that opening pick, that's where Astralis chooses to pounce, because that 5th player, that's the guy supposed to be watching the flank. So Astralis knows that they don't have the manpower to watch for that flank. And at this point, with a couple more of the kills coming in, the remaining members of Optic Gaming, they're all stuck in the bomb site still. There's nowhere for them to go. They have the 2 players flanking from box halls. They've got Devices off at long range in the other avenue. So they're just boxed in. I mean, there's no way. Astralis has them cordoned perfectly for any kind of a retake, and they eventually go on to lose that round.
Yeah, it was a crucial round as well, but the map is in the book. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to bring you the second map of this epic season. It's our finals. Make sure you join us. Yeah, so welcome back to our grand final here in Season 2 of E-League. Astralis are 1-0 up. They've took the map, but there's a glimmer of hope for Optic Gaming. It's their map pick. It's Cobblestone, and as you can see by the records here, it's not a map that Astralis have played a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that Astralis as a team hasn't really liked in their history, but still, you look at the skill on this team and the way they're able to punish Optic, you still have to be a little bit worried if you're cheering for the Optic side of things. I'm going to take Astralis in this, but if Optic, I mean, I don't think Mixwell's going to sit on 2 maps in a row the way he did, but Tarek, Mixwell, and Rush all do need to be on point this map.
But you are going to pick Astralis.
I'm going to pick Astralis for the 2.
Duncan, then.
Yeah, this is the map that Optic have their chances on. It is true that Astralis is the only one has actually lost the only game they played on it, but some of the components that didn't like Cobble are kind of the guys who've changed out, so I'm actually going to take Astralis to win a close one here in 2-0.
Okay, then. So we're going to throw you back over to Anders and Semler. Let's make some noise. Second map of the grand final.
Thank you very much, Richard. And yes, let's get some energy up and running here. It's the second map coming up. Astralis, they took the first one on Train, and now we're going to head into Cobblestone. Semler, you look excited. Is this going to happen for Astralis finally, or can Optic push us to a third map?
I mean, think of everything that's going into this for Astralis as well. They've had just a huge streak of losing major tournaments after actually becoming one of the most prominent teams in the world. They were actually starting to pick up wins. They went into the depths, Anders. They kept going out in playoffs, and then they started going out in groups. And now here we are, pretty much more than a year later. Astralis are in their first grand finals of a major tournament once again, and they're 1 map away from clinching it.
They're going to be playing on the CT side, which is a bit of a bonus. If they can win the pistol round, we'll see. They're going to get overrun. That's Kirby trucked by Tarek, coming through drop, and now they're hesitating a little bit. They want to find the next fight. Sipnik's going to be taking out Rush with that kill. That leaves Dupree, the only man on site, and Rush, a stunning double headshot to take down Dupree. And now Glaive and Device, they're a man down. The bomb has been planted. Can he check the corner? Tarek is there, close with the Glock. He's going to put on burst fire. Always a dangerous move. Device down to 1 health as well. He's going to be dropped, and it's all on Glaive. He tries to make his way in. He's not actually going to slow down at all. He runs right in. Mixwell waiting. He's actually just waiting for a long time, and finally going to execute him. Glaive out of the round, and Optic win the pistol.
I was thinking for a second there that he would go for the knife. If Glaive, but it looked like it was too obvious that Glaive would eventually have to turn around to make his way back around the pillar. But if Glaive doesn't turn back, Mixwell goes for the knife. Guarantee it. Get that $1,500. Guarantee that AWP and a very strong buy. But Optic, they actually do it, Anders. They lost both pistol rounds on Train. Here on Cobble, they're going to get that strong start. And this is their map pick as well. So you do expect Optic to actually have something to show us here.
It's very well done. You saw that second headshot from Rush. He had almost nothing to work with. That was just very well done. And it's so important. Even if Dupree gets no other kills, if he just stays alive back there, that buys time for Device and Glaive to get in. So they need to take care of Dupree quickly in that 3v3, and that was just all Rush making it work. And Astralis, they buy up with armor and a couple of 5.7s there. It's not bad.
No, they've made an investment in this round, which is a little bit interesting, considering Astralis have been one of those teams that actually favor saving rather than going for the Kevlar, which costs between $650 and $1,000. They'll save that money for grenades, for more grenades when they go for the rifles. So Astralis feeling like perhaps they can do some damage here, going for that investment. The Kevlar will negate the aim punch, basically make them more durable if they get into a long fight versus Optic, who have actually got the rifles right now. So let's see how this pans out, because we're right on the edge here. Rush about to set up with the incendiary, going to go into the corner. Dupree already falling back. He sees the second one coming, and he walks right into their waiting arms, gets swarmed by Mixwell.
They are all grouped up on the Optic team. They've actually taken quite a bit of damage, but there are no grenades left on Astralis to do anything about that situation. And they're just slowly getting picked off here, one at a time. Kirby will take down Rush. That's not good enough for now. Tarek maybe should have won that fight, but he doesn't. Device will drop him. The bomb is planted. Device turning around for a second kill. Suddenly we're in a 2-on-2. They are getting a bit of a flank. Kirby gets a kill. Mixwell coming out. It's a 1-on-1 Kirby. He's already got the double kill on the other side. The bomb is only just planted, and now a smoke goes off. Mixwell Does he dare challenge this? Kjaerbye, he doesn't have a kit, so he's going to have to move quick. He's already on the bomb. He surely can't go for the full 10-second defuse. Mixwell already trying to run out of the second smoke that's in there. And I think Kjaerbye's wasted too much time. He tries to go for the shot, but even if he got it now, it wouldn't be good enough. So it will be Optic winning the round. But what a nightmare scenario coming out of the terrorist side here.
Woo, Mixwell playing with fire. But he makes it out just in time, saves that AK. That's actually a bit of a shame for Kjaerbye. He wasn't able to pick up a gun. Couldn't save a rifle. There were a couple of them on that site. But that double smoke scenario there, that pretty much ends it for Kjaerbye. Because at that point, he can't get the kill on Mixwell. He needs to get that kill instantly on Mixwell if he's going to have enough time for the defuse. That's a happy dog.
I do love pugs. Got one myself. They're great entertainment. They look so incredibly derpy. Oh, man. 2 MAC-10s for the scouting mission. They can go and find kills on their own without too much of a risk. Even if they give up one of them, it won't be the end of the world. And then the 3 AKs, just in case things get out of control. So I love this buy from Optic. This is how I want every follow-up buy to be, basically.
Yeah, when you know that your opponents are not going to have the Kevlar, that's when the SMGs, the MAC-10s, the UMPs get very powerful. So you just spray them down. They also make you more money. They make you about twice as much money. So this game, there are a lot of flashy headshots, right? You know, the big plays with the big sprays, but it all really does boil down to money. The more money you have, the more grenades, the better equipped you will be in the rounds, and that gives you an edge over your opponents. Although Kjaerbye with the Deagle is going to find Nafly. So he held on to the Deagle from the last round, and that certainly paid off. Managed to pick up a kill, gets Nafly to spend some of that money.
And now they're walking into a fully stacked bomb site. Even Kjaerbye coming in to help out. But none of these CT players have any body armor, and they're just getting destroyed by Mixwell. He picks up a triple with the MAC-10, and that will leave Kjaerbye.
Yeah, he's fine dying at that point. He just made so much money with the spray. And Mixwell, the Opper, he's going to be looking to pick up that AWP, that sniper rifle, which costs so much money. It's a very expensive buy. So getting bonus kills, it's a feel-good moment for Mixwell. 48.50 in the bank already. He's got the op right there. Now it's just going to be, okay, I have money for grenades, I have money for the Kevlar. Kjaerbye just playing it very patiently right now, hoping that somebody overextends. But with Optic having all 3 AKs, they want to hold on to those AKs. They aren't going to get anywhere near him.
Yeah, Kjaerbye just going to hold on to the armor and a little bit more. The Deagle could come in handy as well. That's 3 rounds for Optic Gaming. Obviously a much better start than it was on Train. Cautious optimism coming out, I think, of the fans. They were silenced a little bit on that first map, but now they're getting the energy back ever so slowly. Mixwell going to buy into the AWP, and on the other side, Device will buy one of his.
There we go. Get the chance. I mean, they need your energy, guys. If the Optic fans are here, Optic really need to hear the support. Still the underdogs in this match. 3-0 lead now for Optic going into the first round here for Astralis, where they can afford to buy the rifles and the grenades. And now we have to see if Astralis are going to be able to set up that defense to counter Optic Gaming, who continue to pressure towards that B site.
We'll see. Alone over at long is Glaive. So he's playing that solo position. Probably not going to try and take too many fights. Yeah, see, as soon as anything is up, as soon as those grenades are down, he's instantly going to try and fall back. He just wants to sort of feel it out and see if anyone is eventually going to try and push the issue. He's getting back up now from Kjaerbye, actually, so that in itself is a win for Optic. They've just put 1 smoke in here, and already that forces a rotation out of Kjaerbye.
Not quite. Just a little bit too high. I like the idea. See if you can look over that smoke, maybe catch somebody off guard over on the Optic side, but it's not going to happen this time around. Mixwell with the incendiary going into the corner there, trying to force somebody out into the open, trying to flush them out so you can pick them off with that AWP. But right now we're getting to that minute mark, and this is about when Optic need to start deciding which way they're going. That bomb could still switch either side. And they haven't found anybody over at A, but they are still getting map control. Nafly and Stanislaw are now pushing out A long.
Are they going to try and split A? Is that what we're watching here? Because otherwise, I think having both Stanis... I mean, if they just wanted to push B and have one guy flanking the A-bomb side for the rotation, it would just be one person. It wouldn't be 2, I think. So
30 seconds left, Anders. They don't have time for this. Like, they need to actually start going.
I am not a big fan of this setup from Optic. I think this is very, very dangerous. They lose Mixwell, and now Tariq is the only one with the bomb on the plateau. If he goes down, they're running out of time, but he will get the kill. Very important. And Xyp9x goes down. Rush winning the fight in drop. That leaves Device on the bomb side. He's going to drop as well. Now down to 13 seconds, and Nafly is here for the rotation. They did lose one of the players over there, but look at Glaive. He's in such a lot of trouble. He has to sort of fight and also try and reinforce the other bomb site. It's a 2-on-2. Rush is in drop. Kjaerbye managed to sneak by onto the bomb site, but he has no idea where Tarik is. He's up on the plateau. This push really has worked out for Optic, and it's quite remarkable. Rush will find a second kill of the round for himself. That leaves Glaive in a 1-on-2, trying to see if he can rush it down, but he can't. Rush will take him down, and Optic, a 4th round on the board.
Tough scenario for Glaive actually making that call. That's the issue with CT side on Cobble, is that you're so limited in how you can get information if you're on the defense. Where are Optic going? And so a lot of the time it comes down to intuition. It comes down to the in-game leaders saying, they've hit B site this many times. I think that they're going to keep going here. And so earlier on there, Glaive, up until like the 25th second mark or so, he had 4 players waiting on B. He was definitely convinced that Optic were there. And then he doubted himself and rotated an extra man over towards A. That weakened the defense. And that was exactly when Optic hit. So the timing works out impeccably for Optic. And they're lucky because they only had like 15 seconds to get that bomb planted.
Yeah, I'm still definitely not a big fan of that kind of setup, but they did make it work. I just think the risk-reward is not really favorable. Again, if Dupree had got that second kill on the plateau, the round would have been over right exactly. Then and there. I like the idea of having one guy lurking at the A-bomb site to catch rotators, but I want it to be only one person, and having 2 there I think is a bit of a risk. Device, Kjaerbye, and Glaive, they're just out and about the map, hoping for exit frags as Optic look to take their 5th round. It's 5 in a row as well, in case you're keeping count.
Yeah, fantastic start here for Optic. This is a bit of a T-sided map, so we expect Optic to come out ahead at the end of the half, where they should have more points than Astralis. But still, 5-0 lead. That gets you comfortable. You're starting to work off some of the nerves that you had on the first map if you're Optic. And yeah, they're hitting their shots now, so this is making the difference. Now it's a question of when they decide to change it up. It's a very similar sort of scenario to what we saw on Train, in fact. Shots? Not going to happen for Kjaerbye. Still, 2 kills here, actually forcing Optic to spend a bit more money in this round. But a 5-0 lead, and now Astralis have the full buy. They have everything they need here, Anders. They have the AWP for Device, but more importantly, they have full nades across the board.
All right.
At the B-dubs.
I could swear that every tweet we've got so far has been in favor of Optic Gaming, or at least very nearly.
There's got to be an Astralis fan out there somewhere. There is one here. Heard him earlier.
There's a single one, and you know what? He's from Denmark as well. He's on vacation here. I met him yesterday. So, very interesting. And yes, I do know everybody in Denmark. Production is asking me. It's true. 6th round is coming up, and time for Astralis to show us something on this map. It's been lacking. I mean, they've definitely cooled off since the first map, and that's something they can't afford to do, obviously. Dupree, nice headshot to take down Mixwell. There's a perfect spray opportunity, but he's flashed for a moment, and the transfer can't happen for Xyp9x. You see, he tries to see if he can get that mouse swing in, but it doesn't really work out. Nafly coming in with a great kill on Kjaerbye. Glaive and Device, and now just Device left. What a fantastic round from Nafly.
Oh, buddy. They're losing all of their opportunities here, Astralis. They had a decent setup. He knows that 2 players are low, and the bomb hasn't been planted yet here for Device, so he knows that if he can pick up a kill quickly, it could pan out for him, but now he set himself up into a position where he has a way out. If somebody makes a mistake, he's playing off of somebody making a mistake now for Optic. Going for a peek, giving him a shot, giving him a chance in, but this is definitely going to be Device trying to back off here once that bomb takes over. See if he can save. Nice wallbang coming in there from Rush. Again, just to remind you, the players don't see the outlines through the walls, through the doors, through the different surfaces. So we get that because we're the observers, but the players, that's just intuition again kicking in.
Yeah, dangerous for Device. That AWP is all they're going to have in the upcoming round. They don't have any money to buy really anything, so not only are they're going to need to save it into the following round, they also just need to see if they get some kills and maybe have an impact on this game. Optic, 6 rounds in a row. The money for Rush, 13,200. A huge bank on him. He's only died once in these first 6 rounds.
Yeah, no, that's a feel-good moment if you're an Optic fan. Definitely, because Rush has done so much carrying so far throughout this bracket. And now he's finally showing up, leading the way. Mixwell is up there as well with him. The 2 key figures on Optic who you really look to lead the way, to get the kills, the star players essentially, along with Tarik, but Tarik just a little bit less.
What we're seeing is the tactical timeout here for Astralis. The first time they've used it on Cobblestone. They've got 4 of them if they need them. And actually, they're going to even out the money a bit. They buy some armor and some grenades. Man.
I think this is more of a breather than anything for Astralis, because they're clearly not, you know, dupreeh, in that sort of situation that we saw in the last round, we expect him to get 2 kills. We expect the first one. That was a beautiful flick from him to readjust his aim and get the first one. But then in the second one, when they're right in front of him, even flashed, I expect him to get 2 kills there. And so we're seeing some jitters for Astralis now, which is interesting considering they had such a strong performance on Train. 0-6, they're trailing, and it's pistols here along with Device and AWP. Xyp9x getting caught, and Tarik, what is that? That spray transfer, so sick. Okay, then he heard me. He was like, wait a second, I don't know about that. I'm going to show you some skills here.
That, and they lose the AWP as well. A round that's done within the first 15 seconds or so. That really was some get-right level long-range spray there. That is so hard to do. It's incredibly hard to do. Yeah, we need to watch that again, definitely. This is just unbelievable, isn't it?
All right, that is so beastly. All right, well, 4 players survived the round for Optic. 7-0 lead. And now, well, Astralis trying to get fired up here. They will be able to go for the full buy. Device had the money for the AWP, and it's a question of whether or not they can actually go aggressive. Try and maybe go for some kind of aggression in drop room, go with a boost in there, or something along those lines to try and destabilize Optic before Optic can get this push going, because again, Optic are just here on the B site.
Already out on the plateau, Tarik. Great success last round. He's going to try and see if he can repeat it, but Rush has gone down. That's a top frag for Optic out of the round early on. And Glaive with the kill there. Naf will get the 1 return, and Tarik has to step it up. He does some good damage. He's looking for the headshot. Maybe he could get it. Glaive is right down in front of him, and backup has been called for. It's still a 3-on-3, and there's so much time left, even with the flashbang. Nafly still picks up the shot on Glaive. dupreeh dropping very low on health. He's hiding behind that rock, and Device is covering him here. This is not exactly a great position. They have to try and see if they can get past, and they're going to put up a smoke to be able to do that. Device in a 1-on-3. He's going to pick up the first kill there on Stanislaw. Now swaps out for the M4, and almost the headshot that went right past his head. But the bomb has been planted, and Optic, all they need to do is hide, buy time, wait for Device to make the mistake and walk out somewhere. Nafly swinging a little bit far to the right. He's going to be shot in the face, and that leaves Tarik all the way in the back line. He only has a smoke. If Device has had the HE, that would be the round done. The smoke is going to force Tarik out. It does! And Device is going to pick up the 1 versus 3. And even without the kit, I think he has the time for it. Astralis finally going to put the first round on the board.
I almost feel like there was a moment there where Device was thinking about backing off when they weren't picking him, and there was a moment, like a little back step there where he's thinking maybe I should go back to connector. But sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to go for the hero plays. You need to go for the star plays. And now they're on the board, Astralis. They finally break that 7-round streak for Optic Gaming. It's a question now whether Optic can just keep rolling, if they're going to bounce right back and shatter Astralis' economy, or if this is now the time for the Danes to shine.
Well, we should put this into context. That was Device getting a triple, and that puts him at 5 kills overall. Xyp9x has 2 as well, and we're starting in the 9th round. Where have these players even gone? We know that they want to make it to the stars, but, you know, got to take the whole team with them here. Everyone on board the space shuttle, otherwise it's not going to work out.
Oh, that was so close to the wallbang shot there. 2 missed attempts by Device to open things up here for Astralis to start strong. One of the few aggressive options you actually have, and, well, it does seem like it's Device trying to decide that it's his time to shine. It's his time to take over this game, because this is another aggressive angle that you can actually hold with the AWP. Stanislaw waiting right around the corner. Nobody there to back Stanislaw off either. And in the meantime, his teammates working their way through underpass.
There's a chance that if either Device or Glaive goes down, this bomb site is in a lot of trouble, because the last person who's left is just going to have a very hard time holding both positions. They do Molotov it off for the moment, and Device using another one to try and see if they can buy more time off the clock. It's just ticking past the minute mark here. The bomb, though, is all the way in the B hallways. Look at this. If you looked at the map, you'd think that Optic was setting up for an A attack, but the fact that the bomb is dropped on the other side suggests something else might be up.
Yeah, early on, yeah. And there's a 2-3 setup where 2 players are on A for Astralis, 3 on B. Right now, we do have a full commit coming in here pretty much from Astralis. 3 players over on A. The only issue is that you had the flash and the Molotov go out simultaneously there for Astralis towards A long to block off Stanislaw. So Optic, they knew, okay, we have 2 players over here. Might be a 3rd. Let's try and make something happen over here on the other side of the map. Now, as dupreeh is trying to hold his own. 20 seconds left here for Optic to get onto the site.
Good counter flash coming out. It's going to buy even more time. The bomb is up there, and again, if dupreeh drops the bomb, that could be it. But look at the entry. Oh my god, Nafly, Rush, and Mixwell locking down this bomb site. That's some almost Na'Vi-esque play. You wait until you've got just almost no time left in the map at all, and then you get every kill you wanted. They don't lose a single player. It resets Astralis. This is a devastating blow to the Danish team.
I'm trying to see here who. It was Device who got picked off initially. Xyp9x was the next. Xyp9x is non-existent right now, but were they trying to peek for info Astralis, or were they just sitting and waiting? Because that was too quick. Optic, all 3 kills happened almost simultaneously there. So I'm wondering if Astralis were trying to get some info, like they tried to peek into an angle, when that's all Optic are waiting for at that point. Optic with so little time, they're just hoping that Astralis make a mistake. They give them a chance to get into it. Second timeout now in this first half used by Astralis. They have 4 30-second timeouts that they can use at any point in the map. And so Xyp9x having a bit of a chat right now, trying to perhaps make some adjustments to the B defense, to the B setup, because he just keeps getting his head banged off every round.
And actually, there is some psychology going into the situation that Astralis is in right now. Now, I think if they were playing SK or Virtus.pro or some other sort of championship-winning team, they could rationalize this. They could say, you know, they are a very good team. Let's try and get back into it. But right now, Astralis are obviously thinking that they are almost the foregone conclusion that they win this. They're feeling like the sort of predestined champions almost. And that could be very bad. That can backfire on you if you have that mentality. And you can't not have that mentality if you are, you know, the level difference between these two teams automatically means you're going to think that way, even if you don't want to. This is dangerous.
Optic are a massive underdog in this, right? But they don't have that much experience in grand finals. We do have to remember, though, that Astralis haven't been in this situation in a long time. And they're almost having to relearn how to actually close out a game, close out a final, and end it. And so, I mean, sure, there might be some room for movement here for Optic. Clearly, 8-1 right now, and they do get that hard reset on Astralis' economy. Astralis once again on pistols, and they're setting a trap up over here at A site, Astralis, but it almost feels like for Optic, you just keep going B and don't stop going B. It's working too well.
There haven't really been many answers on the Astralis side. dupreeh's holding quite far back on the plateau all the time, or on the bomb site itself, which means he has no information about when they're going to come. When he knows they're coming is when they flash their way through the smoke they always put up, and that's it. Then they're on the plateau with him. And the best he does is sort of he trades 1 for 1, which isn't good enough anymore.
39 seconds left. Starting to tick down here in Optic. Well, they decided to change it. They are going towards that A site. And we'll see, they get spotted out fairly early by Glaive. Glaive has that P250, gets the flash in, but it's not effective as he flashes long. Rotation is coming out now from Astralis as well. 20 seconds left here for Optic, and there are the 2 kills. Again, simultaneously. 2 kills, Taric gets the drop on Xyp9x. And again, this is unreal. How do they keep getting onto bomb sites with so little time left? Normally, for any other situation, we'd be saying, I mean, 1 kill goes against you, and that's it. The round is over. You're cutting your margins are so slim here if you're Optic.
They really are. And it's going to be putting Astralis on tilt as well, just knowing that they're cutting it this close all the time. They obviously would like, at some point, to have a bit of an earlier fight, especially if it's one that they're winning. Stanislaus already wrapping around to try and see if he can make sure Device won't be saving this AK, but it's going to be Nafly instead. Instant headshot there. This is very unexpected, I think is the best way to put it. 9-1 in favor of Optic Gaming. He is second map. This is a grand finals, and they are not just going toe-to-toe with Astralis. Right now on the second map, they're beating them.
They are beating them. This is looking, I mean, at this point, 9-1 with a huge margin for error, an incredible bank. 3 players starting with more than 10,000, and they're fully bought up. I mean, this is where Optic can just hammer it home and go to Overpass. Overpass is the 3rd map in this best of 3.
Yeah, but how derailed will Astralis be if they lose this map? That's still a factor that has to be considered. Rush continuing to clock in and put the work in. He's definitely earned his check right here. 3rd kill coming through, and Glaive, don't think it matters what he does. He's going to be walking right into Nafly, and an easy kill for the UMP.
Good time to go for the change of pace here as well from Optic. Going for all the ultra aggression when we've been talking about them waiting until 20 seconds left in the round to start the push. Here, they know that it's going to be Nico from Astralis, and they just go crashing through.
You know, our slightly demented analyst panel did point out that Rush was the X factor. That's what they brought up, that he was going to have to be the one to show up, and he did really well on train. Right now, he's clocking in 15, 0, and 2 as a rating. That's out of this world if you're playing against Astralis right now. That's just very well done.
It's unreal. And it doesn't even, I mean, so long as he's leading the way, 12 kills for Taric. Mixwell, the 3 key players for Optic are at the top of the scoreboard right now hitting shots, but everybody seems to be turning up right now for Optic. This is an ideal situation for them, and on Cobblestone, they are doing work. Once again with the plateau set up here, going on to the B side. dupreeh is alive on the side, playing very passively, and instead it's Xyp9x and Kjaerbye working together on drop, but that's not going to save Kjaerbye's life. Rush takes down dupreeh, and Xyp9x is wondering what the hell happened. Where are his teammates? They can't seem to hit a single shot. This is unbelievable. Optic, they're getting everything to go their way.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a team fold this hard, but they definitely are. 5 versus 3. That B defense is doing nothing for Astralis, and Optic know it. So they can throw in an A round every once in a while if they feel like it, but as soon as they come back to B, it just all falls apart. And this time, you're right, dupreeh's holding much further back and trying to sort of switch up the defense a little bit, but they have the same fundamental problem all the time, which is that they're not getting the entry frag.
Yeah, they're not getting the first shot in. And that's the issue for Astralis. They need to start hitting shots. It's as simple as that. You can have all the adjustments and strategy and everything you want, but if your players aren't getting that minimum of a kill, then what can you really do if you're Glaive, if you're the team captain right now? And you're taking timeouts left and right, and I think you should almost take another one here just to keep trying to get a breather going here.
What I don't understand is why they're... Because all they've done, you see dupreeh, whether he's playing on plateau or inside the B bomb side, all of it is extremely passive. They're allowing for Optic to set the pace of this game. Why is no one trying to flash dupreeh in for a peek in the middle of the round? You know, when you've got 35 seconds left, pop a flash in on long, let him peek up behind those boxes. Anything to have you be the one to take the initiative. They're not doing any of that right now, and that's why I'm saying they're sort of folding as a team here. There's no initiative left. They could do it on long here with Glaive as well. There's a ton of places you could at least go for a flash peek. That has to be one of the most basic things if you're playing on the CT side, and they're not doing it.
Here we go, rotation out, and now Optic are going towards the A site. Haven't had much action over here for a while. Glaive should be excited. He's alive in danger right now. Stanislaw is going to take point to try and get out onto the bomb site, and already Kjaerbye is there. Xyp9x as well, but Glaive gets caught looking the wrong way. Kjaerbye hitting one shot, he gets a long-range spray. 2 for him, but dupreeh is there as well. And changing it up hasn't necessarily worked here for Optic Gaming. That was too quick of a rotation from Astralis.
Oh, pixel pick off from Glaive, that's off from Device, and he gets a follow-up as well. Taking down Nafly, 2 really big kills for Device at the end. That's important. And Kjaerbye obviously with the spray, as you said, he adjusted it. A second round being found by the Danish team.
Big adjustment made though. Xyp9x, at the beginning of this round, Xyp9x was on A site as well. He was playing a rotator role instead of playing drop room. So Astralis right now, they're changing things up on the fly, trying to make it work. And Kjaerbye, this is an excellent spray. Long range as well. The issue here is I think that Optic, they just haven't ironed out all the kinks with that A take, and they were just a little bit too slow. They allowed Astralis to get the rotation in from connector towards the A site. They weren't able to catch Astralis out in the open, is what I'm trying to say. So, bit of a change, but then Optic are looking like they want to go back to B again. So, let's go back to what works, boys. No need to change it up.
And what really worked for them is not just the B bomb side, but also the slow push, where they end up pushing in the last 20 seconds, and Astralis just maybe don't have the patience for it, or they end up rotating even one man out of B, which is not quite enough. There's a heavy presence, or at least for a second there, they had almost 3 people in drop for Astralis for the defense. Now, they've doubled up on plateau. Device and dupreeh are both up there. Again, where's the initiative coming in? Xyp is going to be going down, and Kjaerbye, grenade, could have killed Mixwell, but it doesn't catch him.
Device not going to spot anybody. Instead, he has to fall back, change up his angle because they lost drop down. They lost drop room. Optic, they're constricting onto this bomb site. Now dupreeh will catch Rush looking the wrong way. So there's something going their way for Astralis, but then Nafly's there to trade. Device with a great flick. Does the damage, and Tarik trying to take point. Will drop Glaive. He's in a 1v2. Now a 1v1. 24 HP left on him. And Device with the pistol out. He got communicated by his teammates. He knows that he's low, and Device is going to get the peek with the AWP. 3 rounds on the board now for Astralis, and off the back of a clutch round from Device.
Man, Device is angry right now. Look at the focus on him. And you can see it in his flicks. He's dialed in at this point in time. He knows that if this team is going to work on this particular map, it has to be him that sparks the comeback. He's up to 12 kills. Xyp9x is still in. And if you think about the rating that Xyp9x had in the semifinals and the quarterfinals, this is shocking. Personally, he's just disappeared in the game.
Well, you were thinking that exactly. He was back, but now, I mean, this is one of those maps. Well, it's not over yet. If they get 4 rounds of Astralis, there might still be a hope here that gives them enough margin for error in the second half. But we'll see. Kjaerbye's going to take down Stanislaw. They stack up for Kjaerbye. Triple spray, and well, that was a very quick round. 11-4 is the final score here at the end of the first half.
A little bit of redemption at the end for Astralis, but still an overwhelming victory for Optic. Extremely well played by the North American scene. The second half is going to be coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the second map here, the E-League Grand Finals Season 2. First map was taken by Astralis, but now Optic have definitely shown up to play. They had such a good first half. There's a real chance they could put us on a third one here.
Absolutely. They have the control. It's their map to lose now.
Yes.
The underdogs, the North American hope. It is their map to lose versus Astralis. And Device trying to do the best that he can to keep Astralis in this fight. 14 kills for him versus the 16 for Rush. But that's not the full story here. Rush, yes, he's sitting at the top perhaps, but he still has Mixwell, he still has Tarek backing him up, doing a lot of work as well. Kjaerbye and Device, the two main stars of Astralis, trying to do the best they can, but it's not quite enough. We need to see a big pistol here, a strong pistol from Astralis.
Yes, I mean, no pistol, no play here. If they don't get it, then I don't see any kind of comeback happening really for Astralis in this map. They do have a Molotov already being put out, in fact, so they're going to throw that in right away. Seems like they're going to try and speed up. They have armor on 4 people. They have the Glocks. They just need to get close range. Device jumping in, but it's a favorable trade for Optic. Oh, Tarek taking down the pre-enclave as well. Kjaerbye, he's got the bomb, Semler.
He's got that. He's got the bomb and a dream, Anders. And look at this full rotation coming out from Optic. If he's quick about this, Kjaerbye, he can get a bomb plant. More importantly, he might be able to catch somebody from Optic out of position because Stanislaw is rotating back to connector. Kjaerbye was close enough to hear the footsteps. So he's going to go for the quick peek. And he needs to find a kill. He needs to find a kill immediately. 1v4. It's not looking good for him. Holding close to the doors and Stanislaw trying to juke some kind of reaction out of him, but it's just not happening.
They're just all showing up. Optic. Look at this great team play here. They're making sure that if anything happens, they would all be right around the corner. They put in Tarek first since he is a little bit out of control with that pistol. These 2 kills here are so important. And that, I think, puts the first nail in the coffin for Astralis Cobblestone here. 12-4 being the scoreline. Astralis going to buy straight into this round.
The B-dubs. Green wall everywhere, man. I'm still waiting for the Astralis fan to show up at a Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
We got the only one in the studio here in Atlanta.
He's ours.
He's ours.
Well, you could say that Optic are holding Astralis' dreams in their hands, and they're just crushing them mercilessly right now. Stanislaw, he will get traded eventually, but the damage is done. Dupree and Device, both at half HP, although Device has got a FAMAS to work with now. Dupree finds a great kill on Mixwell, brings it back to a 3-on-3. And they have the bomb control once again here for Astralis with 1:25 left in this round. This is plenty of time for Astralis to work with.
Not at all bad. Astralis at least managing to put a bit of damage in. Nafly is cautiously holding that B-bomb, so he's quite far back. And now that Tarek is showing up, they're getting a little bit more adventurous and starting to get onto the site. 2 smokes are there for Astralis, but the problem is when they have this little health left, those smokes, if any bullets come through, they're going to go down anyway. And Tarek trying to play on the stairwell. They're getting dangerously close now, but he gets the one, tries to flick onto the next one in the backline still. Nafly dropping Dupree. Going to be a 1-on-2 here for Device with 45 seconds left and the bomb down in front of him. Can he get the headshot on Naf? Inside that chicken coop, you can shoot right through the wall. They're paper thin, those wooden walls back there, so it's very easy to do, and that's what he's trying as well. Device not really connecting yet.
Yeah, there he is, the spot, but Device gets tagged in the process, down to 30 HP. It's not looking too hot for him here with 20 seconds left. It's all on Naf at this point, and Naf decides to be brave about it. Steps out into the open and takes the duel. Saves the M4 from saves the M4 from Tarek, and Rush will hold on to the FAMAS as well. A nice attempt in the end, but I'd still say that that was a good round for Astralis just because they managed to get so many kills on Optic. They're forcing Optic, once again, to spend that money to weaken their economy. Whereas for Astralis, right, minimal investment into that round.
I mean, it gives them a little bit to work with, and if they were closer in scoreline, it might even be worth celebrating, but because the gap is so big, it's really hard to imagine that even forcing them to spend more money will somehow buy you a comeback. We're talking about a 13-4 difference here in scoreline, and they still can't buy. That's the other problem. They're going to be saving for this round too. And Naf looking for the kills with the MP9.
Yeah, they know that it's a hard eco here. So Naf, he's just going to go in. Bit of the spray and pray, and so far so good. Even swaps out and takes down Glaive. Naf trying to be the hero here in the round. Quad kill for him, and Tarek will find the last one. Looking for the eco ace. But still, that's going to rattle Astralis a little bit going into this next round. They just got run over by an MP9. 14-4. Countdown has begun to get into this next one, and now AKs are in the hands of Astralis. So we're going to see. Naf, do you want to do that again?
I mean, especially against the AKs, that'd be good. And I'm noticing that the Optic chant is being swapped out for a USA chant. It's been a while since we've heard that, but we've brought the flags and everything in the studio. People are certainly ready just in case the miracle does happen. And I mean, we're watching it unfold right in front of our eyes here. 14-4 is the scoreline, and it's Astralis with 4 rounds. Didn't think I'd be saying that.
Nice, the nade. Trying to force some kind of reaction over here from Device. But Optic, they're going for a bit more spread. Astralis haven't really shown anything, as in they don't really want to go crushing onto the B site. Instead, Optic are trying to go for a catch-all approach here. 2 over on the A site towards Long, applying a little bit of pressure here, and then 3 over towards B. And Glaive finally going to get into underpass. Mixwell waiting right around the corner. This is it, but Glaive finds the headshot to open things up. Device gets caught in the back by Stanislav, boosted up, but that should be it. Stanislav gets another one. There was a chance he could have picked up a third as well.
And with the UMP of all weapons, that's such a trade efficiency coming out of him.
Oh, that's awkward. Did that the nade hit the tree?
I think it did. He got caught by the branches. 3-on-3 right now. Seems fair, but it really isn't, because as you can tell, Tarek is all the way in B, Rush is in the middle, and Nafly is on A. So either player, whoever gets attacked here, they're pretty much going to be alone, and they need to stay alive. That's the key thing. Almost taking out Kjaerbye is a good start for Nafly, and he's been playing so well. Now he faces dupreeh, and he's going to win that one. They don't even need anybody else. He's finally going to be dropped by Xyp9x, but Nafly bought so much time and did a lot of damage. That's really valuable time off the clock here. Rush, is he going to get smoked off? It seems like it. Now he's trying to make his way through the... FAMAS going to reconnect as well with Kjaerbye, and now Xyp with the bomb down, stuck on the bomb side. He can't make it out in a 1-on-2. He's got the AK, and they are wrapping around both of them from the left-hand side, and he way too exposed up there. Ends up going down. 15 rounds for Optic. It is map point.
Beautiful work there as well. Rush, yeah, he gets the kill on Device, but after that, Tarek and Rush just move together as a unit for that retake. That's how it's done. Fundamental CS. You have to get the team play in there, and well, between Tarek and Rush, there's quite a bit of firepower. So a deep breath now. Rush on your screen right there. And Optic need 1 round now to take this to a 3rd map, the 3rd and final map of the Grand Finals here at E-League. 15-4. And well, Astralis, they have the money to go for the AKs thanks to that bomb plant, but Optic are so well bought up right now. They have everything they need to close it. This is all about just maintaining focus now and getting the job done.
This has to be one of the craziest things I've witnessed in a long time. Just the fact that Optic are actually making this work. I guess there has to come a point where we have to stop underestimating them, because they did bring it all the way through. Great kill for Mixwell, taking out Glaive. It's still hard to see this happening, but Device will drop him. Mixwell trying to be very aggressive.
Listening to the fans here, it's like, oh, go Mixwell. Oh, that's brutal. He tried to get over aggressive, tried to take control. Doesn't work, but Stanislav's still here, and the rotation coming through from his teammates as well. It's going to be Nafly rotating over to help him out. Stanislav checking the angles, and Xyp9x, no, not aware that actually he was there behind the smoke. Kjaerbye instead is going to find that kill, and just like that, Astralis, a very explosive round.
A lot of confusion. It seemed like almost all of those kills were happening right at the edge of a smoke somewhere. So just a bit of an odd scenario. Tarek just trying to make their life hard. Maybe he could steal a rifle from someone. He's certainly very confident right now, but he's going to go down. 15-5. We're not even going to entertain the notion yet, are we, Semna? We're gonna leave it as an unmentioned factor here. I mean, you can't celebrate yet if you're Astralis just because you win around here.
I'm wondering right now. Okay, it's going to be a half buy coming in from Optic. Rush had like $9,000 in the bank, so there could have been some kind of play there.
We need search and rescue just out looking for Xyp9x, because he's got 3 kills in 20 rounds. I don't think I've ever seen this from him, never.
Yeah, and Glaive as well is kind of struggling. Device trying to put up the best fight that he can right now, but this is tough. This is a tough scenario. Xyp9x just not hitting his stride. 10 rounds separating these teams, 5-15. And Optic have to go for the pistols here in this round, so...
We're going to find out at the end of this map that one of his teammates put his mouse on invert and didn't tell him about it as a prank, and just played like that all the way through. He's just not even playing. They're practically playing 4 versus 5 here. Not a good time to be missing from a match if you're playing in the Grand Finals. They do have a scout on Taric and 3 Deagles as well. So it's not completely without danger here if you're on the Astralis team. You've got to be careful that you don't walk into an early Deagle shot. Stan almost catching it. That would have been a great little pick-off. Nafly in the corner. He's going to get the one, looking for more. Taric hitting a headshot now. 2 on 3, but they will get the refrags in. Device and Kjaerbye resetting that scenario, and Mixwell gonna get caught coming up from behind. Device with a double kill. That will be a 15-6 scoreline.
That's where you can see it gets a little awkward as well, because it's not like Xyp9x wasn't present on Train either. He was at 20. He ended the first map on 20 kills. So it just seems like he just can't seem to get comfortable on Cobblestone right now. Can't seem to just find the shots or get into that groove like he had on Train. So it is one of the determining factors here. Definitely, because Xyp9x is a bit more of a fallback player for Astralis. They really count on him in the high-pressure situations to hit those shots. And while there's just, again, a huge lead here for Optic. 15-6, the buy coming through here from Astralis. Straight rush onto the B site. Yes, please. They're not going to stop. And, well, there's only 3 players here for Optic to put a halt to this, but if they stack up for Taric and do the job for him, then it gets easy.
Great trading coming in. It's all on the Device. He's going to pick up the 1 kill, making the 1-on-2. Now the bomb. Out on the bomb site. He swaps out for an AK, walks right in, and he's going to go down. Rush will get the kill. 16-6, favoring Optic Gaming. We are going to head to a 3rd map here at the Grand Finals. Optic massively upsetting the situation, taking a big map off of Astralis. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with a full analysis of this map after the break.
Winning E-League Season 2 would mean big things for North America, like they're back on the map, they actually won a tournament.
We've proven people wrong plenty of times. You know, people will predict us to, come into a tournament. We won't be able to do anything. People didn't predict us to make it out of groups coming into this tournament.
We have tons of confidence right now. NA's on the rise, and they're not to be trifled with.
You guys can have your opinion, but we're going to prove you wrong. It's okay.
Optic can win E-League Season 2 for sure.
Yep, you heard it from the man himself. NA's on the rise, according to Rush, and Optic are on the rise in this final. Blew Astralis away on Cobblestone. We maybe thought that they might have a chance of winning it, but that was comprehensive.
It's reminiscent of what they did against FaZe on Train. It was just non-stop aggression, phenomenal trading, entering into the bomb sites. The defense could do nothing to hold it back. I mean, Rush had a great game. Taric had a great game. And those two, I mean, that was the big missing factor that we didn't have in map 1, was Taric just kind of being a monster. Mixwell hits a nice shot, so his nerves look like they're dropping off a little bit. So, I mean, this was a great performance. It is just straight up aggression. This is kind of where you start to see Optic, while it looks good, it is a little bit of like a one-trick pony, because it is just never-ending aggression through smokes. It doesn't always seem like it's going to work, but somehow the trades, the kills all go their way in the critical moments.
They're doing it again, Rich. North Americans are winning the Counter-Strike again. You know how much I hate that. No, I mean, this is an example of where the logic for why Astralis would win is obviously, like, in theory, they have superior players. They looked good against NIP earlier in the tournament, but I think this map actually right now is going to signal Cobble goes back on the ban list. You know, they haven't figured some aspects of it out. T-side obviously wasn't really that hot. CT side, they were very, very defensive, basically relied on Device winning 2 1v1s, 1v3 at one point in time, just to give them any rounds of control.
So are you not inclined to give credit to Optic more than...
Well, absolutely. It's just it's pretty clear that Astralis had no counter once they were getting beaten up. You know, they didn't know how to play aggressively, they didn't know how to get information when they come into the B side. So it's a mixture of the two. Optic did absolutely exactly what they should have done on this map. The guys from Astralis had nothing for them on Cobble, basically.
Yeah, I mean, obviously bouncing back in that kind of a fashion after map 1 is very impressive, especially considering how young that Optic is. And also just coming out ready for this one. I mean, that first map really just seems to have, given them time to breathe. They obviously got used to the settings. That might be a little bit jarring. And I mean, obviously we got Anders up there on the caster desk cursing Astralis, as he always does.
I feel like it's a bit of hubris from Astralis that they let Cobblestone through here. I think they would have been better off playing Cash, but instead they thought, I think they were using that old logic that NIP have used in the past of, well, they haven't seen us play it, so we'll have this advantage. It's like, yeah, but the whole point is they play this map all the time.
Yeah, and they absolutely did put on a masterclass there. And key as well, everybody started to step up for Optic.
Yeah.
You know, Tarek's actually in this final now. Just a few thoughts about his performance.
I mean, it was very, very nice. I mean, he had a couple rounds, great, phenomenal entering, just double, triple kills as he's entering into the bomb site. He was great, and they absolutely needed that. And him being the star player as well, that's what you expect out of them. When you get beat like that on map 1, when you struggle so much there, you need to open the map with your stars playing strong, because that's what's going to get everyone else involved. That's what's going to get all your other players zoned in as well. So Tarek, the numbers look good, the impact looked great.
Yeah, and just to pick up on some criticism for a player, which is definitely in your wheelhouse, Duncan. Xyp9x, who had phenomenal numbers, you know, earlier in the tournament, here in this very studio. 3 kills, virtually no ADR, you know, 20 deaths. Like, it was really, really poor.
This is an example of where some of the pieces, maybe it's not the whole team, maybe some of the pieces for Astralis are just off on this map, because the position that Xyp9x plays is a similar position where you see Apex actually from Envious. You have to really, really know, like, you have to have a great game sense for when the enemy's going to come out there, because you're having to switch up your position, you're having to crossfire with your teammate, and he had nothing in that respect, actually. Many, many times he was confused by the smokes and flashes coming in. He didn't know whether that was a fake, whether he was supposed to go aggressive, and so I think that kind of summed up the game there, because we've seen earlier in the tournament, Xyp9x has been a monster. Yesterday, obviously, on Train. Now it feels like he was out of the game. So I think this is great, because we've had these 2 semi-blowouts. I mean, the first one wasn't a true blowout, but it was because of what happened on the first time. And obviously now we're heading to a map where both teams, in theory, can play after what we saw yesterday against FaZe from the Arsenal.
Yeah, it indeed should be an amazing deciding map. We're going to take a short commercial break before we get into it, but make sure you come back after these messages to see who's going to win our Season 2 finals. Welcome back. Lots of people watching the final, including the pros. You can see Freakazoid from Echo Fox. He says Optic's got the momentum heading into the last map. Uh-oh. He thinks Optic are going to win. I presume that's what that means. So, Moses.
Uh-oh. I feel a disturbance in the force, guys. He's starting to believe.
So, look, it's going to be Overpass. Both of these teams have phenomenal records on this map. Astralis 3-0, Optic Gaming 3-1. They're ready to go. I got to get you quick predictions, guys. Who's doing it? Who's calling Optic?
I'm going to take Optic on this one, because the way they traded on Cobblestone looked exactly the way
Moses
they
in the
traded
house.
On trade or on just the other day. So I mean, this is a beautiful look of Optic we have going on right now. All the stars are aligning for them.
All right then, Duncan.
I think Astralis is the best Overpass team in the world right now, and I think Device is really rolling in this game. It is Ops going to be key at long A, so I think they're going to get this one. They're going to break Moses' little sweet heart.
It happens so frequently as well.
You do it by now. All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. It's the deciding map. It's Overpass. We're going to throw you back over to Anders and Samler.
What a crazy story it's been already, and we're certainly ready to get into the game. Astralis and Optic are ready. Third map coming up, and it looks like it's going to be Optic starting on the terrorist side. It'll be Astralis on the CT side. This is the deciding map. Winner gets to be crowned the champion of E-League Season 2. There's a big prize pool on the line, and honestly, I didn't think it would come to this, but it has. Optic are looking just hot on fire right now.
And it's fitting that we have the shotgun to start things off. 0-0 into the pistol round of the first half. And Astralis on the CT side, Optic on the T side. And already you can see Optic, very slow start, in fact, just ultra passive. It's really just Stanislav running around making noise, but in the meantime, his teammates were waiting for him to show himself over on B, and now they head up straight to long towards that A site.
Yeah, they want to make sure they don't run into any weird stacks or any grenades early on. Stanislav did get shot down. Is that a wallbang coming out on the other side, or did somebody take a jump and shoot? I'm not even sure. A Slave. Oh, he gets shot down. Are they going to check the corner? Yeah, but he's a bit too soon. They didn't check it, but he still fired the shot, and then he gets punished immediately. That's a misstep right there. 3 versus 5 here in the pistol. dupreeh trying to charge in from behind. He's going to have to be the hero here. He can't hit the shot, otherwise Stan would have been down. dupreeh has to get a reload in the middle of it, but he's going to get shot down. Nafly, now that leaves Device. 10 health in a 1-on-4 is just not happening. Tarek will take him down, and Optic, they win the pistol round first here on Overpass.
A perfect pistol round as well. That was a thing of beauty. showing yourself at B and then just picking up every kill. Kjaerbye jumps the gun as well, and then Mixwell is there to take advantage of it.
I mean, that is the deciding moment right then and there, because if they check it, he's just dead anyway, you know? But when the first guy doesn't check it, it's unlikely the second and third will. And if he buys time and waits for his teammate to get into the bank, it probably, at least it secures them an even trade, you know? That's the minimum they get out of that one.
That's what you're looking for, really, if you're Kjaerbye in that scenario. At least you whittle it down to a 4-on-4, and then you kind of go from there, right? But it just didn't pan out for him whatsoever. And Astralis having to adjust their positioning here on the B site. dupreeh, Xyp9x, both here. Glaive and Connector as well. So he's not too far off. But again, Astralis going for the force buy in this round. Not saving for nades. Not prioritizing the 4th round. Instead, hoping to just try and blindside Optic in this 2nd round. But Optic are playing this very well. They're just grouped up, stacked up, not letting... Well, that works.
It definitely does. They even get that wallbang in on Taric, actually. Incredibly, he's down to 55 health. So, scary start. Probably everyone's going to be holding their breath on the Optic side here. They can't afford to run into another Deagle, and there's another one in play. There's even that Scout on device. This could get a little bit scary here. 50 seconds left. They have the grenades, and the fans are behind them, as you can clearly hear in the background. Taric now taking charge of the situation. He's going to be running up. Oh, he looked the wrong way. That's incredibly unfortunate timing. He's going to end up going down now. Glaive with the follow-up. He's got the double. Can't get the 3rd one in, but the flashes are out, and dupreeh showing up with a double kill of his own. Astralis, they steal it back immediately. Oh, no. Optic, I mean, that just did not work out.
That's a bit tough. They went for this play on Cobblestone Astralis. It didn't pan out. They got run over. In this round, though, hats off to Glaive. dupreeh with the flick. But you got to give it to Glaive for holding the line on that site. 2 kills from him, both of them key as well. Taking down Taric, that's the start. And there's the hype as well. So a 1-1 situation, and now it's Optic who are forcing. They're the ones going for the pistol Kevlar. Mixwell had just enough to get a Galil, so there is a rifle in play for him. But Astralis, they're going to be very hard-pressed here, Optic, to catch Astralis off guard.
Yes, indeed. See if they can trade it back immediately. I mean, if they can, it'll certainly put Astralis in a weird position. Almost Kjaerbye getting caught. He puts out the grenade. He's going to get shut down. Rush finding the headshot in the corner. Another grenade will rain in, and that's Device taking the kill. But he's going to be going down. They stole the Galil and gets the refrag there. Glaive now taking out Rush, and it's a 3-on-3. Glaive staying alive for an abnormally long time in the backline. Finally, Mixwell comes in and takes him down before he's gone. dupreeh, just 12 health in a 1-on-2, and the bomb down. What a play coming out of Optic already. Stan gets the headshot in, and the Americans are going to steal it right back.
dupreeh going so far as to slam the table. But somehow it happens. We're into a brawl here, out and out. Optic are the ones that turn it back their way. And now it's Astralis going for the force buy. They refuse to give up on this. What a shot, though, from Stan. Excellent work. But now it's actually kind of equitable between both of these teams. Decent nade count on Astralis. 2 rifles in play. They have the AKs on Optic's side.
What a difference it made that they could buy that 1 Galil. That really did a lot of damage there. 2-1 the 4th round. And a fairly aggressive hold of the connector between Kjaerbye and Glaive, and Device is nearby and Birthday Party ready in case anyone tries to sneak that way. Man, this is... You can tell now both these teams are here to win.
You can't back up in this sort of scenario. You have to go heads in, and that is the setup down here. Kjaerbye and Glaive stacked up in connector. There is a bit of aggression here from Astralis. They've set a trap, and they're hoping for Optic to walk right into it. This is a key part of the map because it allows for the quick rotation of the T side from A to B when they set up their offense. And so Kjaerbye and Glaive just trying to set a trap here to really just catch Optic in that part of the map. But it doesn't even matter. Optic are sticking to the extremities. They're over at A long right now. 4 players and soon to be 5. Nafly hanging around in mid, just making some noise.
Question is, if he walks forward, is he going to get caught by Kjaerbye? He's got an angle where if he stands up, he can just easily get a headshot on someone who's up there. You can see that's what he just tried to do. Peek for that one. We're down to 40 seconds here. They're really rapidly running out of time. They do have smokes and everything else to get onto the bomb side, but once they get there, they're going to be sandwiched in between Kjaerbye, and there he comes. Perfect timing, almost catches Naf, and he's going to take a little bit of damage from the grenade, but it's nowhere near enough now. The rest of the push is coming in to the A bomb side. They need to land these kills quickly. Rush going to be in charge of the first one. Xyp Just putting out a couple of flashbangs here to buy some time, push them back, trying to lay that bomb plant. The bomb is only now making its way onto the side, but they're getting the kills on the Optic team, and it's a 2-on-4.
Oh boy. Is this actually happening? Kjaerbye and Glaive. Now the two players who were at connector earlier, one of them is dead. Mixwell hits the headshot. Clean work from him, and now it's Glaive 1v4. And he's actually just looking to get in here, see if he can't take a fight with someone quick, and it's not going to happen. Tarik hits the headshot. That is 3 kills for Mixwell in a key round.
You just have to wonder what happens in a world where the first engagement from Kjaerbye against Nafly is a success, where he gets the kill straight away. I think that probably puts that must ground the round to hold so much that it's going to be hard to really do anything.
Sick setup. Okay.
Someone is ready at Starlight as well.
Awesome.
Interesting. 5th round is on. We've got a lot of USPs, single P2000 and Astralis behind early on.
Now the pressure is really going to start mounting, but this is an excellent start here for Optic Gaming. 3-1 lead for them on the T side of Overpass. And Astralis on a hard eco, not spending a dime. It is going to be the stack here from Astralis, though, and they are looking to barrel down short into sewers. If Nafly can get tempted in, Xyp9x going for his jump. They have no idea that this is coming. Optic, but Rush with a double spray in the UMP. Nafly is there as well to hold the line, and Tarik will find a kill of his own. Clean work coming in here from Optic Gaming. Not dropping a man for the first time that they go to the B site. That definitely is going to be a bit of a feel-good moment for them that it worked so well.
Mixwell, just saw him on camera there. He's 8-1-2. I would say he is the star of the team, and if he's going to show up for the final map here in full force, that could be just what they need. Now, Astralis are back in the mix with M4s. They don't have any Molotovs. They don't have any defuse kits either, which is always worth pointing out. You never know what happens when you get to the end of the round and that bomb is down. Astralis have to stop that from even happening.
And that's why we have the aggro push mid from Kjaerbye. He's looking to just take the fight to him, straight up. He's going to get caught, however, the counter flash comes in, and Rush is able to trade the kill. So we're back into a 4-on-4, and they've used a lot of utility in this round. Astralis already down to a single smoke on Glaive, 2 flashes, and Rush still hunting for a shot right now, not going to get it. Well, he does get it in a way to the face.
The trading continues right now, back and forth, and that will heavily favor Optic. They're going to be fine with that. dupreeh is pushed all the way out of B. If he catches Stanislaw with the bomb here, that could be very interesting, but he's going to hold it on for just a little bit here. He doesn't want to continue too much. Stan is actually making a lot of noise, so dupreeh should have a really big advantage going into this fight. Stan going to go and check it. dupreeh almost goes down. He's on 5 health. That's huge, and now the rest of the team is going to be coming in. Easy kill on dupreeh. 50 seconds left. Xyp is on the bomb site, and Device is going to be rotating in from Connector.
Yeah, they even have time exactly. This is a great position from Device because it pretty much guarantees that Optic aren't rotating back over towards the A site. So Xyp9x can stay put and wait for his teammate to work. Device slowly working his way up short. There's no smoke to block it. No, there is. Just barely. A safe smoke there to stop him from actually managing to get in there. The bomb deny there would have been key. Instead, it's Nafly now who has the advantage of positioning, and it's on Astralis now to try and actually create some space. Xyp9x pushes forward, and Device looking for the push as well, but Xyp caught out in the open, and Naf hits the shot.
Broke the fight. Device takes out one, but where's Mixwell? He's hiding right on the other side. Look at this. Such a sneaky ninja. Now he's going to creep around with the AK, shoot him in the back, and that will be another round here. Coming in, Optic resetting Astralis one more time. And if you look at it, I mean, it's not just that they're losing the round. That 2v2, the amount of hesitation on Astralis, the lack of initiative is choking them out right here.
Well played.
I mean, that's all there is to it. It's fine that Xyp9x is in the back waiting for Device to come in there, but he's got to be a little bit more proactive. He's got to see if he can take a shot somewhere, maybe find out where they're going. Mixwell got into that graveyard without even being spotted.
No, and I think just out of range as well for Xyp9x to hear it. Very quick play here from Optic. 5-1 in the lead. Optic on the T side, and they're already charging out onto the B site, having taken down dupreeh. Nafly going to catch Xyp9x looking the wrong way. And it's Kjaerbye, Glaive, and Device, the last 3 alive here in this eco round for Astralis. So kind of going according to plan here for Optic. No real surprise that they're able to barrel through when there's only pistols waiting for them. This is the next round is when I want to see Astralis actually take a timeout, to be frank.
Yes, most definitely they need to do that. It's going to be 5 rounds in a row for the American team. And this happened after Astralis, you know, they got that one round after losing the pistol, and it looked like it was going to be great, you know, that's everything you could hope for. And then Optic just bounced right back in their faces. Device, some internal timing that he's looking for here to get the kill maybe with the P250, but Rush will deny that one. So, 6-1, 5 rounds in a row for Optic here. And you're absolutely right, and there is the timeout for Astralis. They are going to call for it.
They have to tap out at some point. And this is, I mean, you have teams that will wait 6-0, 7-0, and call for the timeout. 6-1, going into a bye round as well for Astralis. This is the time to take a breather. Just sit and wait. And Glaive is doing a little bit of the talking right now. He is the in-game leader, the tactician of this team. But at this point is when Zonic, the coach, you can just barely see his head on the left over there, the spiky brown hair. He is the coach for Astralis. It's only during the timeouts that he can communicate directly to the team about tactics. I'm a bit surprised, actually, that Zonic isn't shouting as much as he was yesterday in the semis as well. Because he can't talk about tactics, he was just, you know, saying, "Good round, boys, keep it up." I mean, we're not really hearing that from Zonic at all right now. He's very quiet.
And that is what this timeout is all about. It's about the mental game. They need to find a way to believe that this can still work, because right now they're just flushing it all down the toilet. It's 6-1. The 8th round is coming up here. They have the AWP, they have the M4s, and Optic, they have all the momentum, it seems. Device going to miss the shot. He's trying to make it back around the corner. They can't quite catch him, so at least he gets away intact, but tries to set up a secondary angle here. And Optic, they're so aggressive. They're just trying to see if they can't roll them over here. Device looking for this shot, but he's not feeling confident enough to stick around. He wants to fall back and maybe get helped out by Kjaerbye.
Exactly. When Kjaerbye has to give ground and fall back, that's when Device realizes his flank is open, and so he just backs off a little bit. And now he's hunting, looking for the aggro shot, and he has stepped. They know that somebody's close.
Yeah, and even more than that, they can hear that scope going up and down. That's a bit of a problem. Right on the other side, Tariq and also Stan is waiting. And Device, he's slowly falling back, and now they're going to be wrapping around long. Backup needs to be called for here. This is a big crunch coming in. Optic really early in the round as well. Kjaerbye on top of the box looking for the spray, but he's not even close to connecting. And that is it. Stan and Mixwell, they open it up, and dupreeh and Sip, they're already packing up their gear and walking away to save it here. What a push from Optic.
I'm surprised. These are unforced. That's like an unforced error for Kjaerbye to miss his spray that wildly. Definitely expect a bit more aim from him, and right now he's not delivering. Astralis, they're struggling. They take the timeout and they get run over completely. Zip and dupreeh, they will survive. They're making this a bit more expensive for Optic, but they need the round, Astralis. They need to actually get a second round on the board here if they want to stand a chance. Optic are running away with this game right now in the first half, about to get 7 rounds on T-side overpass. It's an excellent lead.
There's no denying it. And, I mean, I think it's true. It would have been great if Kjaerbye could have got that spray, but the initial mistake actually happens when him and Device are so far up. This is the sandwich that's going on. Device is out in the open. There's no backup anywhere near. Both his teammates are way behind here, so he's just left to his own devices. It's not a good time at all.
No, it's those smokes going down just completely block him off from any kind of help. But, I mean, it's just to remind everybody, if this is the first time you're watching Counter-Strike, we're looking for the first team to get to 16 rounds here. And this is the last map.
And you are tuning in to an otherworldly upset here. Optic Gaming, people have been doubting them all the way through. Right now, there's only one way to say it. They're winning the grand finals at the moment. Mixwell going to be getting a bit of a grenade. He actually bounces back in their face. Oh, no. dupreeh getting a little bit of help to set up a double kill.
We had to have an NA nade at some point in this final match. But yeah, you're right. That's just painful. That's almost some kind of round where you just shake it off if you're Optic, because it's definitely not how things are supposed to go down there in sewers, where you're going to get your own grenade bounced back at you. Still, it's not over yet. They did some damage to dupreeh and Xyp9x. Tariq, Stanislaw, and Nafly still alive, and I do like this boost setup, hoping that somebody's still hanging around on short. It's not the case, though. dupreeh has pushed Monster, and he might go all the way into T-spawn right now. Yes, he will. That's going to block off Connector. He can get into Connector and hamstring Optic.
Normally I'd be a fan of this, but I'm not, since they're in a 5v3. I feel like Astralis are taking a risk when in fact it's supposed to be Optic that are taking the risk because they're 2 men down. If this works out for dupreeh, then I guess it's all good, but still, What if they turned around and got the kill? There's Caribou going down. What a shot from Nafly. Now Dupree's got the angle. They're lined up right in front of him. And he is going to be walking in. There's the spray. He drops the bomb with 24 seconds left. And it seems to be working out. Grenade out. He's going to be pushing even further. Takes down Tarek. And a good double kill for Dupree. Pretty much closes out the round. Oh, what? Nafly hacking Dupree right through the wall. He's going to pick up the bomb and come charging down towards the B bomb site. Zip, he's up in the sniper nest. He can't quite land that shot, and not enough time for the plant here. What a great effort from Nafly, though. And also from Dupree, who does pick up a quad kill. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, exactly. It's the start of this round right here. He catches him lined up and wins this second duel versus Mixwell. That's the key turning point. Him going for the repeak is him taking a big risk, but that's a confidence-building play that Dupree just managed to make work. The fact that it goes his way can potentially fire him up here for the rest of this half. And they need it right now, Astralis. They need a hero here that's going to come in and save them, because right now nothing is going their way. 2-7, Optic still in the lead, and of course with plenty of money to go for the full buy. Astralis as well after that round, but no AWP picked up here for Device. So that does leave you wondering a little bit. Instead, he's going aggro with the M4, and he's been spotted. Stanislaw with the lucky headshot through the smoke, though. That's going to put him down.
But look at the spray that he got in Device. I mean, he put Rush on 10 health in a single bullet. Any grenades that went over this wall would take care of Rush, but they don't know that, and they also don't have them. 2-7. This is the big test for Astralis. If they lose this round, I don't think they will have any steam left. That will reset the economy, and it's all going to go to hell.
Essentially. Well, if you're an EU fan, for an Optic fan, it's that big green wall bearing down on him. And well, speaking of which, it's the 4-5-man push out onto the B site. Nobody here for Astralis to greet them. Instead, they're both stuck in sewers. They've been smoked off from the site, perhaps. I do like it, though. Xyp9x, this time he goes for the spray. Denies Stanislaw on the plant.
That's a good angle to find. It makes the retake slightly easier, but it's still a 4-on-4 retake. Nafly hitting a good shot on Dupree now. The bomb still ticking right in front of him. Mixwell going to be pushing in, trying to take the fight with Glaive, and he's going to win it. He's not sure if there's a second player there, which we can tell there isn't. Caribou takes down Rush, 2 versus 3. They need this. Caribou and Xyp9x, it's up to them. And the timing here for Nafly is going to be everything. He's got the Tech 9. He goes down through the wall. Tarek shooting Zip in the back, and Caribou, no health. He has to run. Optic picking up an 8th round.
Oh, do it! No! I thought he was going to get the wall bang. That would have been insult to injury. 5 HP left on Kevin, and he barely makes it out. Mixwell just misses the timing to shoot him in the back as he's running. 14 kills for Mixwell, by the way, leading the charge. I know that guy right there in the front. Excited? I think he's pretty happy about how things are going right now.
I think Hector's excited. 2-8 is the scoreline. The 11th round is coming up, and Dupree is doing well. He's at 11 kills. But if you're even a little bit adept at reading facial expressions, you can tell that there is a bit of a breakdown. Everybody else on Astralis not really doing that much.
No. Low single digits. We're witnessing the collapse, and Optic know it. They're going for the throat. Straight towards B side again. The smoke goes down, though, and that might throw Optic for a loop. They might have expected to get some kind of eco out of Astralis. Little do they know, Astralis have forced up, spent everything on this round. So that smoke causes a little bit of a pause here for Optic. They need to figure out exactly what they're going up against here.
Grenades coming up to the barrels, a very common position for somebody to be holding. Dupree standing near the pillar in the middle instead with just a pistol. Good flashbangs coming out here, and Tarek going to be going down. Actually, Dupree picks up a quick double kill. That's very well done. They will get a little bit of a return, and just because of the equipment difference here, it's working out pretty well for Optic. They are in a 2-on-2, though. Good kill from Caribou, in fact. He's trying to get in there before the bomb goes down. A lot of counter smokes here. Device looking for the shot. Oh, he does the damage, but the bomb will still be planted ice cold from Mixwell. He doesn't stop even as he's being shot in the feet. Mixwell goes down, and that leaves Nafly. They see him, and Caribou, triple kill.
The flash. You see a world in which Nafly is managing to trade the kill on short and turn it into a 1v1, but that flash costs him. And it's a 3-round, well, 3 rounds on the board for Astralis, rather, as Optic have 8 rounds. Dupree, though, that perfect anti-flash. 2 anti-flashes, in fact, staggered, delayed. The first one halts Optic Gaming in their tracks, and when they just get going again, boom, another one goes off. Good communication and timing there from Astralis to get that defense going. 8-3. And well, they're just going to keep buying both of these teams, of course.
Well, I mean, the money for Optic, they have spent a bit of their bank, but Mixwell still has about $7,000 in it, so they're not out of the woods yet, Astralis. In fact, they just need to win every round in this half from here on out. Make it 7-8 if they want to stay competitive. And, I mean, also just they want to build some confidence here. I just cannot even imagine what they must be feeling at the moment. That is a lot of damage being put in early on without Taric or Nafly seeing anybody.
Oh, those wall bangs, painful. The nades as well. dupreeh hoping to get lucky with the smoke, but nobody is there. And well, Optic now, this is more of a default approach to the map where they're going to be waiting for contact. Spread out and waiting for Astralis to make the move to go aggressive. Mixwell will jump across though, so he's trying to set a little bit of a trap here in case dupreeh goes aggressive again, because dupreeh has pushed Monster here exactly where Mixwell's standing twice so far this half. But in the meantime, there's about to be some action in mid, and Device is still pushed up very aggressively. Stanislaw with an excellent headshot. That's not supposed to happen. What a shot from Stan.
And now dupreeh goes down. At least Sip can get the refrag. That's good news, but it's up to Kjaerbye and Glaive. They're right around the corner. Optic, if they steal this round away, they'll almost cement this first half. There's nothing that Astralis can really do to keep themselves alive. They're right around here. They've got such a big advantage against Kjaerbye. Sneaking in, but they don't know that he's quite there yet. A lot of smoke's raining into the B bomb side, and that's going to confuse Xyp9x. Will he call for back up? They get the kill on Kjaerbye. Now the only one who can stop this round from spiraling out of control is Glaive, and he's got only a UMP. Not exactly favorable. The bomb will go down before he gets there. Once he fires this gun, they're all going to know where he is, and it will be very difficult indeed. He's looking for the angle. There's the spray on Rush. That's a bit of a start. Now still a 2-on-3, and he gets caught with the grenade in hand. Sip picks up one. At least the smoke is up on the bomb. Maybe that's going to help out Sip just a tiny bit. He's inside the smoke. He taps it once. Is he going to force them out? They're already trying to spray through. He gets the one shot. Sip, he sprays! And there's the quad kill. What an incredible clutch. At the edge of losing this grand finals, essentially. Picks up that kind of a clutch.
We were talking about certain players having to wake up. It's been dupreeh leading the way for Astralis for quite some time, but 4 kills. Xyp9x pretty much doubles his kill count, going from 4 to 8. And this is what we were talking about when it came to Xyp9x as well. We saw it a little bit on Train, but on Cobble, he definitely wasn't present on the map. Xyp9x with a huge win. Gotta be always so hype. There we go. That's right.
That's important. They need that hype. They need people to get excited. They need a couple of smiles every once in a while. I mean, it's very, very hard to play this game if nobody's communicating. And that's actually what it does to a lot of teams. When they start losing, they just don't talk anymore. And an interesting twist as Astralis win the round and then go for a tactical timeout.
Well, you can see the countdown has begun to get back into the round, and they're definitely in the zone. It's good to see the retake artist, Xyp9x, back in his flow, though, in a key round. But Optic are not done yet. They had such a good bank to go off of that they can afford to go for full AKs and nades behind this. And they still have a very good lead right now. There's plenty of rounds left in this half. They can extend that. They can get into double digits. They just need to maintain their focus right now.
Now let's see what tricks Optic have in the bag, because now at least a little bit is working. That's a nice shot for Device, taking down Stanislaw. Optic trying to see if they can chase him down, almost running into a second shot, but there's the backup. Kjaerbye, great defensive play, but Device will be going down. Glaive is there to follow up on Rush. It's looking good right now. They're in a 2-on-4. They need to stop fighting and just let this be, and instead they continue, and now they're in a 2-on-2 with the bomb about to go down. Astralis, where are the fundamentals?
Too much on the over-aggression, really trying to just batter Optic, but Optic, they were too tough this round. They held in there, and now they've got a bomb plant and post-plant positions as well. So now, so much time is going to burn off of this bomb, where you see dupreeh, he has to check all of these angles. He has no idea where the Optic players are holding from. Glaive is going to come through long, so they don't have to worry about that angle. Kind of narrows it down now to the mid area. And Naf going to go for the peek? What was that, Naf? Out in the open, it's on Taric now. 40 HP left for him. 1v2, catches him lined up, but he doesn't get the spray. dupreeh will clutch it, keep his cool, and clutch it in the end.
Oh, and it's the last second as well. It's incredibly close, but it does work out.
That's the shot that Device attempted last time. That looked clean.
What you just saw in this round is a clear example. It's a clear read into the mindset of Astralis. When you're this far behind and your whole team is crumbling and you get yourself in a 2-on-4, you can't just keep fighting, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's a symptom of the fact that the team is just still breaking down. but they're at least putting rounds on the board. They've won 3 in a row. All of them have been defusers, so it's been real close. And Optic, they have money. They're just going to continue the pressure, and why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they aren't going to stop anytime soon. Perhaps in the next round, if they lose it, they might not be able to reset, but if they continue getting bomb plants, Optic, they can keep going for a long time as Astralis chain rounds together. But it is Optic. Playground occupied, and they're not going to mess around this time. No Glaive and KRB set up here in Connector. Mixwell taking the time to clear it out. And so a bit more map control here for Optic Gaming to decide to set up the play here when they decide whether it's A or B. And right now that bomb making its way out long definitely makes you think A.
They've been so good at taking aim fights, and it's so much easier to do over at A long, so I don't blame them for it. Gonna make sure there's no one lurking around the restrooms, anything like that. They're taking all this map control early on in the half, or in the round, which I really like. A lot of teams, they wait until there's just 40 seconds left, and then they start going for all this restrooms control, but Optic have it by 50 or even by a minute. They could do whatever they want at this point. They could fake A, run back to B, and actually that seems like what they might be doing.
Exactly, that bomb is making its way down into Connector, rotating over towards the B site. You have Tarek and Rush making their way to Monster to back things up to get that two-pronged assault onto the site. But Xyp9x and dupreeh, we've seen how effective this crossfire can be between the two players. And if dupreeh is hitting his shots, it could get brutal here for Optic. Xyp9x gonna spot the one, but Rush doubles up, takes down dupreeh. Xyp9x is so low on HP that he's not gonna hold. And it's down to Glaive now. Up close with the UMP, bumping around in the smoke, and Device with the deny. No bomb plant happening.
Oh my god, just 14 seconds left. How is this working out? We spent half that round inside the smoke with Glaive trying to hawk the terrorist player on the other side. Very, very weird.
It's just like, where did Glaive come from? All of a sudden, the hero to the rescue. Xyp9x and dupreeh, they faltered.
I think a great attempt I actually think that was a very good attempt out of Optic. On 100 different ways that could have worked out. Just a little bit confusing. 8-6 the scoreline. Moving into the 15th round, the last of the half. And regardless of what happens here, Optic are going to be excited about having even 8 rounds, I think, on the T side of this map. So all on Astralis to make sure it changes. Xyp9x, can you find a good grenade? There are 3 people in that tunnel. It could have been great.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is that Optic have a very solid CT side to fall back on here. Both sides looking very good for Optic on Overpass. It's a map that they're comfortable on. It's the map that they defeated FaZe on yesterday in the semifinals. And they got 10 rounds on their CT side. So Astralis, even if they manage to get the 7 rounds, they've got a long road ahead of them. Optic have done a lot of work in this first half to set things up for them to win this grand finals. There's the flash, the setup. dupreeh with the peek takes down Rush. Xyp9x hanging around is going to allow himself to get traded, and there are 4 players here for Optic. They're ready to go charging onto the site.
Tarek in front of that charge, Tech9 in hand, but he does go down to dupreeh, and Glaive, bit of damage with the UMP, but not enough to get the kill. Still leaves Stan alone, and he's going to get shut down. Good double kill from KRB to close it out. 7-8, slightly favoring Optic Gaming. Still one hell of a performance from the American team. They should be very excited. They should be proud heading into the second half. That's what we're going to do right after the break. And once again, we welcome you back to the E-League Grand Finals here. The second season and the final half is going to be coming up between Astralis and Optic Gaming. And Optic, they don't run out of fuses. They just keep going all the way through. I'm very, very impressed by their play style and their stamina so far. We'll see if they can carry it all the way through. Mixwell has been playing out of his mind, and dupreeh has done his absolute best to keep Astralis in this finals. The end score of the half is 7-8, and we'll see what happens after the pistol.
Between him and Xyp9x, there's a lot of action. I mean, KRB did good work coming back into it, but dupreeh has been consistent throughout the entire first half for Astralis. It wasn't until the end, and I think it was mainly the massive clutch round coming in from Xyp9x and dupreeh after that really launched Astralis back into this game and got them to get such a close score at the end of the first half. 8-7. This very well could have been 10-5, 11-4 Optic Gaming. So Astralis, they showed that they still had some fight.
Oh, Nat peeking in. Great headshot on Device. Very well measured. A huge risk for him to take in case somebody else was down there, but it's definitely worth it now. Now Stan getting a couple of free hops off, but not really connecting enough with KRB to get the kill.
Love
but
taps.
Still, yeah, why do they need it? They're in a 4 versus 5, and now they can relax a bit more.
They need to figure out exactly what's happening. He was looking for the follow-up, and it was a good ploy. Doesn't pan out. Still, Glaive has the flash and the smoke, though, and the P250, but he's got the utility. And with this bomb rotating back around over here, still a minute left on the clock. They could, with connector control, rotate back down to B if they wanted to complicate things here, Astralis. But taking over long like this does make you think that they want to wind up on that A site.
Yeah, I mean, here's the problem with taking over long in a pistol round. You're going to be facing that USP. You only have one smoke to block off Mixwell with. So if you miss the smoke by even an inch, you could be sure Mixwell is going to take at least one. And maybe the whole team, the way he's playing at this point, he's back at the bomb site, looking for it. No smoke has gone up yet. He's got clear rain of this. They do get very close to the moment. No bomb plant yet in 35 seconds. Mixwell going to get the headshot on Dupree. That's a 3-on-5. Where are the refracts coming in from Astralis? They need them, and they need them now. Kjaerbye going to get one before he's out, but it leaves Xyp9x alone in a 1-on-3, and they're just hunting him down slowly, click by click. They've got him isolated, and that fly. That's a quad kill for him in the round. Optic, they win another pistol here.
There we are. Definitely a strong start for his team right there. Second half, pistol won, and more importantly, Nafly continues to do work for Optic. He's now in the lead on the map as far as kills are concerned. But this is sick work from him, keeping his cool. Started off with the aggression, he just never let up. Astralis now, they're in deep water. 9-7, but you can see they have the pistols on Astralis. They can't afford, having lost that round, they can't afford to go to the rifles or the SMGs the way that Optic Gaming have.
Big challenge being mounted here for Astralis. I think they managed to recover a tiny bit of confidence at the end. You know, maybe they started to feel like we can actually do something. But if they lose the next couple of rounds, much of that is going to be gone, and Optic will be so close to the finish line that Astralis will have maybe just too big of a task on their hands.
Nice work. That one move from Xyp9x baits out a smoke. Early utility in the fadeaway headshot on a rush. Okay then. Now there's one less smoke to work with on that B site, and they're down a man as well. That's forced Nafly to rotate over towards the sniper, looking from on high. And Stanislaw desperate to bring the kill back. And he's going to spot Glaive, but he misses the shot. So a little bit of information gained there. And we might actually have the rotation coming in as well. Tarik isn't too far away up on that A site, but he doesn't want to fall back just yet, because they don't have connector control. They don't know Optic Gaming if Astralis can rotate back around.
Oh, Naf actually taking quite a bit of damage early on here, so that's a bit of a problem. Stanislaw, he will be taken down to Dupree. Now it's a 4-on-4. They don't have that much health on Optic, but they still have the equipment, so if they can keep their cool, keep it slow right now, and I love this move from Stanislaw. Look at the aggression. He knows he has to take a risk. This could be the perfect play, and he takes down Kjaerbye. Now 30 seconds left. If they push in, they have to look behind them all the time, and on the other side, Nafly there to pick up Glaive. 24 seconds. They'll get the bomb plant down, but Optic have set themselves up perfectly.
Yeah, now they know that they can go into this retake. It's all going to be down to the heroics. Device takes the peek. Get out! Optic are not playing around. 20 kills, 21 now for Naf. But more importantly, 4 players surviving and some excellent teamwork coming in there from Optic at the end. They're getting the kills, they're working the map, but more importantly, when they figure out, yes, the bomb is getting planted, they aren't rushing in and trying to give Astralis a way back into it. They wait for the rotation to come down from the A site and go in as 4. Solid fundamentals here for Optic. This is really impressive to see from Optic as well. Coming into this tournament, I don't think anybody would have expected this kind of level. But right now, they're just rolling over Astralis. 10-7.
Doing a very, very good job, and especially after losing some of those early frags, that's when you tend to panic. You know, that's when some of the mistakes could come out, but they're handling all of these situations very well. A little bit of a flashbang on Glaive, and that's all they have for the round. So let's see if they can find a way to get maybe a kill or two. Another bomb plant would certainly help out, but it's hard to imagine this won't be an 11-7 scoreline favoring Optic, especially when they have 3 men on this bomb site already. That's a brutal setup to run into when you don't have any armor at all. Rush playing it carefully, and Stanislaw picking up another 2 kills. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. That was excellent control. Like Stanislaw, the fact that he gets them to line up at the end as well. That's just a feel-good moment. 11-7 now. And this is where we start getting into the serious round here for Astralis. The 19th round, and they can afford to go for the rifles, the grenades, and the AWP on Device, who just barely has enough for the Kevlar. So clock ticks over, the round begins. We've got 1:55 seconds now to see what Astralis have in store for us, or whether Optic Gaming are going to shatter their hopes, because again, 3 players pushing top mid right now, 2 into connector, and it's going to be Mixwell holding to watch their backs, but Debris is down here. clever play, actually. They wanted to go for the boost to look into the sewers pipe.
Speaking of Device, he has gone missing in this game. Just like Sipnix did on the second map. This time Device has got 5 kills in 18 rounds. Just now starting in the 19th. That is obviously not good enough. So something needs to change. Otherwise, this won't be enough. They need to play more than 4 on 5. They've done it for one map and it didn't work out. If they're going to try it on this map too, it's just not worth it.
They need to rotate back up to the A side here, Optic. Minute left. Okay, they took the long route, the scenic route. Stanislaw and Tarek making their way back up there to back up Mixwell, but Mixwell is alone in restroom. He's only got the UMP, holding a very aggressive angle up here. Glaive and Kjærby, are they going to try and, well, I mean, they're going to make their way around this corner soon enough. It's whether they flash their way through expecting some kind of trap waiting for them, or whether they walk right into this. Mixwell is perfectly capable of getting the headshot instantly.
With the UMP as well, he's going to be fine if he can just trade that kill early on. Stanislaw is not that far behind, so there could be a bit of a setup here. He's covering the other side, making sure that no one sneaks in behind Mixwell. We are down to 30 seconds. What a risk being pulled from Astralis, but they are making their way around long, which means Stanislaw and Mixwell are going to be slightly out of position. If they can get a kill, it's almost fine. And look at the timing! Stanislaw, he picks up both dupreeh and Sipnix, and the rest of the push, it doesn't mean anything now. Kjærby's going to get a headshot, but there comes Mixwell with the run and gun, UMP and Glaive. Not long for this world. It's all on Kjærby with 8 seconds left. Nice mid-air headshot, but it's all just scenery at this point. He's going to be losing the round. Just can't do anything in that 1 versus 3. Astralis, a lot of trouble. I mean, the timing for Stanislaw is just so good.
And what's tough is that it's dupreeh. He's stepping, he makes noise, and that's what triggers Stanislaw to go and peek around the corner, because this is a common setup for the T side to get those smokes down. You're vulnerable when you have your smoke in your hand. Obviously, you don't have your gun. Stanislaw, it's a calculated risk, and it pays off massively for his team there. 12-7. And, well, it's starting to look pretty grim here for Astralis. The hero AK bought by Kjærby, and the rest of them...
Well, that's from the last round.
Pardon me?
I think that she saved it.
Oh, he saved it from the last round. You're right. Still, pistols and Kevlar here for the rest of Astralis. But you're right. That is the saved AK.
But yes, if it turns into a hero AK, that would certainly, you know, just make things a tiny bit brighter. But honestly, they seem like they have almost no fight in them left anymore. They're getting timed all of the time. dupreeh lands a headshot on Rush. That's not at all bad. I'm not sure if Sip saw that there was someone down there. Maybe spotting out the feed, but ooh, getting a little bit hot up there.
That's a nasty play, making him dance. We have the swap around from the gear. Device was the insurance, actually, with the Kevlar helmet. Now he can go for the AK. And if it's, I mean, if ever there was a time for him to come alive, it is now. Stanislaw, not sure if he's hearing the jump on the other side of the wall there, but that's a little bit of information to go off of. 4 players rotating around for Astralis. Nafly will catch Glaive in mid. That's the trap that has been broken open there by Optic. Astralis, they were counting on Glaive to catch out the rotators. Instead, now the B defense is going to be pretty solid here. Stanislaw, excellent shot.
Yeah, great flick. That bomb, if the grenade goes in, it's going to deny the bomb pump, but just make it as he explodes HE. All on Device, 1 versus 4. He's going to get 1 good headshot in, but they should be able to swarm him. There's just too much here. He's going to get 1 more in. Taps away. Device looking the wrong way. Tarek is there. Oh, my lord. Device taking 4 kills. And Astralis somehow coming out. A godlike performance from Device in that round. He disappears for a very long time. But when he shows up, he does this.
Oh, it's so tough in a key round. Everything falls apart for Optic. They run in one after another against Device. 1v4 clutch, and it is the AK from Kjærby that makes a difference. Just hold on to the AK at this point, Device.
They're talking now. They're a little bit animated on the Astralis side. We are seeing a tactical timeout for Astralis. The money is still there for Optic Gaming, but if they lose this round, they're going to be broken, and that will allow Astralis to creep ever closer to equalizing the scoreline here.
All right, Tarek doing a bit of talking right now. The countdown is practically over here, going into it. 12-8. Optic still fine as far as the buy is concerned, but their economy is gone. And in the meantime, Astralis, of course, full bot after that massive win there from Device. So Astralis, early pressure over here by Monster. They're getting into the fight fairly early on. Device has already got the angle, and they're going for the identical setup here, Optic, and this time it works. Stanislaw's going to catch dupreeh out in sewers, and Optic start off strong. Not a single point of damage taken, and Kjærby's already down to 42.
Great setup, very creative, and also fairly low risk. It's hard for them to be pushed actually in connector, and someone coming through the tunnel is not going to have an easy time spotting that out, because you're always going to be busy worrying about the potential jump or even someone pushing up in front of you. A good smoke up towards the sniper nest, and now looks like Astralis are going to come into this push. They need the early frag, but Kjaerbye goes down. Sip gets one, but then he's traded, and Glaive to follow Device in another 1-on-4, and this time it won't work out so well. He goes down. That resets the economy. They win a single round, the first round that they win on their T side, and immediately afterward, Optic are right back.
Right back in it, and within striking distance now as well. This is that moment when a team gets up to 13 rounds where there's an additional amount of pressure that gets put on Astralis, weight on their shoulders, because now if you lose a round, they're almost on match point here. And that's it, match point. This is the last map of the grand finals, and Optic need 3 rounds. 3 rounds for the North American upset.
It is happening right here, right now. You're watching it unfold live. Nafly at 24 kills. He is doing such a remarkable job right now. Mixwell at 20. Tarek and Russia a little bit behind, but it doesn't matter. The team as a whole is functioning incredibly well. This is the beauty of Counter-Strike as an esport. It's just so unpredictable at times. But when you got 5 people working together with the same goal, pulling in the same direction, this is what can happen. Rush, Stan, and Nafly down on the B bomb site. Sure, Astralis have the Tech-9s, but how are they going to get through all these smokes?
But Nafly's going to be there to back them up, because he is thinking about rotating up. He can actually get above, unless they get that smoke down on Sniper, in which case he's going to be cut off. They do have the grenades necessary for this execute. Astralis, Dupree waiting in source, Xyp9x, Kjaerbye, and Device ready to go through Monster, but the crossfire is established between Stanislaw and Rush. And that one incendiary is going to buy them so much time. There's the flash, and that smoke as well. This is just staggering Astralis. They have a couple of flashes left, and they're just going to commit straight through. Stanislaw with the spray, not connecting, just doing a bit of damage here and there, but then the kills come through, and Stanislaw with 2, Rush with the 1, backing him up. And they just ran right into the blender, Astralis. They had no chance. Optic, that defense on B, it's too tough.
And I mean, the timing is incredible as well for Optic. That Molotov goes down right after Astralis have put all their grenades in. That means they can't just wait. You know, if the Astralis had thrown no grenades, they would have just waited for the Molotov. There's 15 seconds left, or 50 seconds, so it would have been no problem. But because the timing is godlike, that means they have to eventually commit to it. And when the smoke goes down after the Molotov, they know we've got no chance. We've got to go through eventually. 14-8. 2 more rounds, and Optic take the grand finals.
Stanislaw. I mean, perhaps trying to make the life just a little bit easier for Astralis. Goes ahead and roasts himself there real quick in the fire. He's down to 65 HP at the beginning of this round. But Astralis have changed up their approach, no longer going towards the B site. They've got the bomb over on long, that's Kjaerbye. And in the meantime, Device is clearing out restrooms. So it's back to the A site now. It has been fairly even between both sides for Astralis. But they're going to see if they can make it happen here. And Mixwell takes the shot, and I think he hit the lamp post. Yeah.
How can that be real? We need a replay of that production,
oh, wow.
Please.
Let's go, boys. More grenades. Getting wasted. Oh, Mixwell, take a breath, man.
Everyone calm down. This is in the bag. Now is not the time to be frustrated. 23rd round coming up here. They got a strong defense at the A-bomb side, but Astralis, they're going to try and test it. They run close with the Tech-9s. Mixwell can't really see anything. Nafly, easy shot for him, and that drops the bomb. Kjaerbye should have been putting it down. Naf with a triple, and now Sip and Device are left 2 on 3. 24 seconds, a great kill for Mixwell, and Xyp9x now alone and isolated and out of time. They needed that bomb plant right off the bat, and they never got it. And Sip, he knows as soon as... Oh, what? He takes down Rush. That's a great start. 9 seconds. He's going to follow it up, but he can't. Gets taken out by Stanislaw. Match, map, tournament point for Optic Gaming.
That's right. What a play from Naf. Those 2 kills. Unbelievable. Zipniks did the best that he could, but there's only so many 1v3s, 1v-X's that you can win in a day.
What is it going to take for Nafly to smile? He's at 28 kills in 23 rounds in the biggest game of his life, and they need one more round, and they're going to be the champions. Astralis deflated and almost defeated here. They've got a Galil, they've got some pistols, they've got a lot of grenades. How do they break through the green wall? It does not seem like they can.
There will be one of those memes. The meme, you know, where it's just like, happy Nafly, sad Nafly, frustrated Nafly, it's all the same face. And then it's going to be the final tournament winning Nafly, and I think that'll crack a grin.
He's the North American Exist, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I mean, Mix has got the angle! He hits the shot as well. Glaive down to 21. Must have caught just a little bit of the concrete there. But Glaive, he can count his lucky stars.
Just a warning shot, just to make sure that Glaive realizes he's no longer welcome. 55 seconds here. Clock is running down. This could very well be the final round. Stanislaw and Rush are on the other side, and they have been rock solid on the speed bomb side so far. Have they got any grenades left? Not entirely, but the flash spray is coming through. They do get traded fairly quickly. Rush, he's going to be run down. Device with the Tech-9. Finally picking up a bit of speed and a good little smoke coming out on top to make sure that no one can get a clean shot in. 3 versus 4, and the bomb is down. Optic, can they get another retake in? Tariq going down, almost making sure that it can't happen.
Exactly. Now it's too tough a situation. Mixwell has to take advantage of that smoke clearing to make the cross and be able to back off to save this gun. And all the money, they might, if they can hold on to both of these guns, they should be able to get a buy. They will be able to get a buy Optic. It's not done here. They don't have to go to pistols and try and save up. But that's a tough scenario there. I wonder what the follow-up flash looked like to just catch Rush flush like that, because he was follow-up blind. You're thinking, okay, Stanislaw gets run over, sure, fair enough. But then how is Rush not able to see to get the follow-up there and actually win first? Because if it's a 3-on-3 retake scenario, you can be sure Optic are attempting it. They're going to go for that fight.
Yeah, you see, it's definitely a very good flashbang that lands on Rush there. He's just full blind the whole duration.
That's the man right there trying to make a difference for his team. The 2 key kills there in the replay. Device will bring them to the 4, but 12 kills total on this map for Device. dupreeh still leads the way with 20 kills, but now he's the only one up at 20. You have 3 players above 20 kills for Optic. Optic are just hitting harder.
Much, much harder at this point in time. Seem like they're different weight classes at this point. 9-15. Mixwell over it. Long tries for the gap shot there, but doesn't quite get it on Device. That would have been a great way to get started. Device just a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Not sure if he's going to be re-peaking.
Not always a good time to go facing an op. One shot. Oh, Mixwell not going to get the timing either. He cannot see the outlines through the smoke or through the walls the way that we can. And so it would just be instinct if he were to hit mouse 1 there. No targets just yet, and instead again Astralis, they're going to go for the rinse and repeat here. Onto the B side, it looks like bombs outside of Monster, and 3 players set up and ready for Optic Gaming. The defense this time around, it'll be established, and they've changed up the setup as well. Stanislaw is looking into the wall so he can avoid the flash all the way back here in the corner.
I love this setup, and I love the fact that they still have a Molotov down there on Nafly. That's going to make life even more difficult, especially if the clock runs too low. 45 seconds, putting a couple of shots for the smoke on the terrorist side here. Are they going to be able to withstand this time? Stan goes down immediately, and Rush, he only gets the 1 kill. Naf turns up, he gets 1, he gets 2, but finally gets taken out. Hero effort from Natfly puts him at 30 kills and puts his team in a 2-on-2. The bomb plant is happening, and dupreeh in a sublime situation here. Trying to see if he can maybe get the flank in as they try and push through. Molotov on Mixwell trying to hide in the corner. Is it going to spread far enough? It looks like he's going to be safe for the moment. Just a little bit lucky there. Tariq looking to move up, not going to get Zipniks, and instead it's a triple kill for Zip, in fact, and Mixwell trying for the wallbang once and has to maybe make it out with the AWP. This is a hard one to try and clutch, and he goes down. Quad kill for Zipniks. 10-15.
Not giving up on this fight, Astralis. And this to me speaks of a setup that Stanislaw wasn't used to. And perhaps it comes down to Rush with the call. Rush hesitating caused Stanislaw not to turn around and not to have any impact. If Stanislaw or Rush, or either one of them, if they pick up a kill when that push begins, totally different situation, and I think Optic are now hoisting that trophy into the air. But just a little bit of shakiness there on the communication ends up costing Optic a chance, and now they are on pistols here. It is Astralis with control of the situation.
For once, that puts Optic back on pistols. They've had such an incredible economy throughout this second half. They've managed to save just enough rifles when it really matters, and they've just been keeping it alive for a very long time. But now, it is back to pistols and no armor. So Astralis trying to get a free round in here. But the pressure is still unbelievably, and all of the pressure is on Astralis still. Optic no, and they have good reason to believe that as soon as they get rifles in their hands again, they can close out this game.
They should not be feeling overly flustered. They still have a margin for error. They are setting a little bit of a trap over here in Connector. Stanislav, whoop, never mind. Glaive with the drive-by. Dupree will run into Stanislav, but Stanislav wins that fight, 12 HP, and thanks to the Kevlar. But not going to be able to live longer than that. Glaive will take him out. So Tarek, Rush, and Nafly still alive here for Optic Gaming.
Sip is watching down in the tunnels in case anyone tries to make it through that side. Did he spot the feet? I think maybe he did. Yeah, look at that. They're well aware. The boost is up. Oh, Glaive is going to get caught. A good spray from Sip. That's very, very important. Tarek will also be going down. So Rush, P250 on the bomb site with 29 seconds. They're all coming for him. They want to fight him straight up. Got to be very careful. That could have got out of control. If you hit the headshot on Sip, it would have been a 1v1. 15-11 though. And now Optic have money to buy one more time.
This is Naf. That's just a tough situation there for Glaive. But this is it, the moment. 15-11. And the rifles are here, the nades as well. And now it's a question, I think, of whether Mixwell goes aggro with the op or not. Is he going to try and take control of the situation here? If are Astralis even going to give him the chance? Yes, Astralis will be rotating into mid. For a second there, it looked like perhaps they wanted to head towards Monster early on, but instead it's Xyp9x alone. Tarek is here, and it's a big setup coming in. Long push, they haven't done this yet. Mixwell finds a shot on Device, and this could be the turning moment. Kirby, though, going to catch him turned around, but he misses his chance.
He needed to get that kill. They still got a chance to bring it back. A flashbang goes out, so at least it's a 4-on-4, but Kirby could have maybe even got the double kill. Now Nafly's down here. The hero of Optic Gaming. He goes for the spray, catches Dupree perfectly, follows up with a headshot on Xyp9x. This guy in the grand finals, 34 kills now. He just needs another couple and they will have that trophy. It's going to be Kirby and Glaive left with over a minute, but in a 2-on-4, spray comes through. Rush gets a kill, and ladies and gentlemen, Optic Gaming, your winners of E-League Season 2. What a story, what a surprise. Who would have seen that coming? I don't think there was even a single analyst, a single expert anywhere that saw Optic even making it to the grand final, let alone winning it.
Winning the final versus a team of Astralis' caliber, and it's the same story for Astralis, however. They defeated NiP in the quarters. They took it through the semis. They broke all of the streaks, all of these demons that have been haunting them for so long. They just weren't able to get it done in the finals today. This is Optic's moment.
A Cinderella story.
Optic, an incredible job there. I have a question for you guys. I have a couple, actually. This is the biggest prize pool you guys have ever secured. What does this mean for you guys as a team and for the Optic organization?
I don't know, I'm speechless. Like, serious, I don't know. This is amazing. My teammates played amazing. So props to them, and whew, thank Lord.
You deserve taking a breath for a moment. There were a couple times there we saw your faces on the big screen, and you guys looked terrified. You looked worried. How did you rally and come ahead with the victory?
I don't know. I was afraid we were going to choke at one point, so I didn't think about it myself, so hopefully none of my teammates did. So we just knew we just needed one round. Just don't even think about it. Just get the round.
Well, you guys have shattered expectations. You have done what no one thought Optic could do here at E-League Season 2. You have an incredible fan base here, and they are so excited and so proud of you. Let's go back to our casters and hear what they have to say.
Thank you, Rachel. I am just blown away. This is a Cinderella story like we've almost never seen it before. A mixed group and a really determined one as well. The support was here. You see the owner of Optic right in front cheering the whole way through. Unbelievable result. We are going to go to a quick break and we'll be back with a full breakdown. Stay with us.
You're making me strong, you're making me stand. Shine like a rocket up into the sky. Nothing can stop me
Standing North American team.
This is just getting out of control.
That is absurd. This is crazy. They are fired up.
E-League on TBS is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. And get your free credit score at Credit Karma.
Yes, so welcome back. You can see victorious Optic. They're going to be jubilant for a long time. I think they're going to be out drinking tonight. I don't know. Just having a guess. Welcome back. Of course, we're here at the analysis desk trying to break down what we've seen. Wow.
I think mine's broken. Come on, Morpheus.
Well, it's not the first time that's happened to you, is it?
That's uncomfortable.
Anyway, great job, guys. That was a big celebratory moment. Just a reminder, obviously, that you can get tickets for the Major. If you like what you saw here in the Season 2 finals, you can still get your tickets. We're going to be at the Fox Theater. It's the World Championships Counter-Strike. It's the 10th one. It's a big deal, and we want you to join us. So make sure you go to eleague.com/major and get involved. Right, let's start talking about it. For once, Moses, your love of America, it's paid off.
I think maybe this is like 1.5. There's been a couple other times, but this was sick out of Optic. I mean, just an all-around good performance. That last map, just so dominant, and it actually, you can even say that it should have been better. They did lose 2 anti-ecos, but regardless, either way, the ability to stay in this game, that late run by Astralis, you think that might knock Optic out of it. You think they lost all the momentum heading into the second half, and just a brilliant job. Nafly was unreal in this game. He was a monster. So many different ways. The AWP, normally we see Mixwell with it. Well, apparently Naf's not too shabby as well. And just overall, once again, the trading, the swarming of these bomb sites, the unrelenting aggression from Optic, just unstoppable so far in this tournament run, or the tournament run as a whole.
Yeah, and Thorin, must be lots going through your mind at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a very unique game. I mean, we had Rush as the X Factor. He was actually the guy who just kind of had to play his role, didn't have to get a lot of the kills. Instead, it was actually Naf who had, I think it was 34 kills by the end of the game. This round right here, when you look at the timing of when it took place, a younger team normally might get rattled by that, you know, that might throw them off, that might lead to the big comeback, but they were the ones coming back with all the big plays, like this one here. Then obviously later in the half, there was the round where they stepped out when the Astralis attack was coming onto way from the smokes, managed to catch them off guard. So actually all the poised plays, all the veteran plays felt like they came out of Optic in the second half, whereas Astralis, I mean, they have been in this situation many times before, but they actually looked more like the old Astralis than this new beast that had made it to the final.
Yeah, they're welcoming Glaive to a new kind of torture.
Exactly. Welcome to Astralis, mate.
Yeah.
You know what?
And this will let you know about the fan club later on.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I think, you know, full credit to Optic. I thought tactically they were very astute. I mean, they were absolute stomping on Cobblestone and Overpass. You know, that's a hell of a tough map to beat Astralis on. So I think you got to give them full credit.
Something to say on this third map, that Taric and Rush, who are their 2 like bottom players, those are supposed to be the 2 stars. Those are supposed to be 2 players who carried them to the grand finals. And if they're able to win the grand final with guys like Naf, Stanislaw carrying the majority of the weight, that all of a sudden is a very deep Optic team.
And I've got to just say as well.
Go on, jump in.
I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the show, the star player of the Astralis team is Device, right? Historically, Sure, in this system, he's maybe been the impact player, but not the star player. But in this final here, forget the 1v4. That was a crazy round, but that was like backs against the wall stuff. Aside from that, he really struggled. I mean, deep into that second half, he was on 4 kills, 5 kills. I mean, it felt like that is an old storyline that got resurrected here because he looked like he'd overcome that earlier in the year when they had their losses, you know. He was the guy who wasn't losing touch with it.
It's hard to maintain a winner's mentality when you don't actually win things. Anyway, let's take a look at our blazing hot player of the match as presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. It's got to be Naf. Biggest performance I've seen out of him in since I don't know when.
Well, certainly the biggest stage we've seen it on, and that's the crazy thing, is all these guys coming alive. I mean, that was kind of one of the things that I had to question, was the inexperience of this team. It didn't show, as we just mentioned in the third map, but he showed he could do it a lot of different ways. Obviously, he had some good rounds of the Deagle, but here with the AWP, I mean, he's just straight styling on Astralis at the moment, like in that round.
This was a big kill here because, yeah, that was obviously a round where it shouldn't happen, right?
Yeah, and that's just also a mid-round boost like that. That takes coordination. That takes good communication between the teams. So you see a lot of the pieces that I was questioning coming into this event for Optic. Yeah, that's monstrous. Across 3 maps as well. Almost 100 on Train and Cobblestone. Basically 100, and then, I mean, obviously Overpass was just a monster map.
And he's not a very emotional guy. You saw that. That's the most emotional I've seen at the end where he was like, yeah, whoa. It's almost like a parody, but real happy for him and certainly happy for Optic. Anyway, we've seen some amazing Counter-Strike today. We're about to see some more amazing Counter-Strike, apparently, from some of our fans. Obviously, we do get you guys to send in your clips, and we've had a chap called Fuzzed CS who has pulled off an amazing 1v3 on Cash. Let's have a look at it.
And we will never wreck anybody, I promise. This is some nice shots, actually. I mean, that's not bad.
Not bad.
Good.
Oh,
all right, well, there's the bleed.
Necessary.
Oh, that was nice.
NA player, yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even a 1. Is that a 1v5? I think it was.
Yeah,
they told you.
Yeah, I got told a 1v3. Turns out it was one. That was absolutely awesome. Yeah, exactly. He's ready to be into an American team now.
All right.
Right. So, anyway, if you want to get featured on the show, all you got to do is go and download the Forge app and use hashtag ELeagueForge on Twitter to submit your best clips, and then we might say nice things about you, or we might wreck you. It's in the lap of the gods, really. It's up to you. Okay. Anyway, we've got the other horrible moments now, but this time from the pros.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of these. I feel like there's going to be some good ones.
Yeah,
we saw a couple.
We've seen some big whips.
I know one that's
so anyway, let's take a look at our Snickers moments. You're not you when you're hungry, so make sure you have a Snickers to eat.
Of course.
What you even?
I'm hungry.
What even is the context? What are you even doing there, mate?
Don't worry about it, mate. It's showing high energy. It's all about hustle.
I am so wrecked. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Straight right into the crosshair.
Still gets the kill though, so worth.
Yeah, definitely worth.
All right, here we go, boys.
Oh, that's confusing.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that one. That was full Chuckle Brothers. That's terrible.
Let's just get out of here. I'm done with this.
Yep, bail out.
We're going to win anyway.
Neither of them had the time to do it anyway, so, I mean, even attempting it in the first place was a not you and your hungry moment.
Anymore? No, that's it.
Yeah, so there you go. Now let's have a look at the standings and indeed the prize money. Awesome for Optic to be at the top of there. You can see some big names and a big share at the maximum amount of sharing going to Optic Gaming. That's a huge disparity.
Is what's nice. You look at the names at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, I know.
IP versus Pro.
Yeah. You know, Dignitas down there, SK Gaming as well. I mean, it's such a strong field they've been able to overcome. So I got to ask you final thoughts just about this season. What's really stood out for you guys?
I mean, definitely with Optic, I mean, that miracle run through it. But I think the biggest thing is some of the favorites, the amount of upsets we had, some of the favorites coming into the group stage, Cloud9 getting knocked out, Immortals not even making it to playoffs is a big standout for me.
And your final thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've called this, the parity era where a different team wins every big event, but what's crazy about the playoffs is it was the most stacked playoffs. It had all the big teams in, and then the same thing kind of went there. You had all these upsets. Every match except the Dignitas SK game basically was an upset. So crazy level of competition in CS. I think leading into that major, what a perfect kind of gift for there, because who knows who's even going to qualify and then who's going to beat the major.
Well, for me, my final thoughts, the things that's really stood out for me over the season is just working with, great co-workers like yourselves, fantastic minds, people who truly understand the game, as reflected by your Twitter feed, Duncan.
Okay,
we picked out some of the choice moments.
Come on. Let's go.
It's coming. It's coming. There it is. Congratulations, Astralis, E-League season champions.
That's a classic.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Any more?
Yeah, look, I don't know, Nostradamus. I'll wait for your book to come out in another 100 to 200 years.
Some of those might get a little, a little edgy.
To be fair.
Yeah, actually, don't read the Twitter feed.
Let's not go through the Twitter feed.
Yeah, let's not do that. So anyway, there you have it, guys. So it's been awesome working with you all. And just a reminder, obviously, Counter-Strike's not over. We've still got the Americas qualifiers tomorrow, so you can tune in bright and early for that one. 10 a.m. Eastern, the game's going to start. Real big one to start us off. Cloud9 versus Immortals. And then, not as big, but should be interesting. Muffin Lightning, who are here on a wing and a prayer, versus TSM. Right. So anyway, there you have it, guys. So all that remains to be done is to thank everybody. We want to say thanks to our partners at Faceit, our coverage partners at HLTV, all of the crew, all of the admins that make this possible. Of course, you guys, my co-workers, all my on-air talent, and of course, all the fans worldwide that made E-League season so very special. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Astralis winning season 3.